What's going on, everybody? I go by the name of It's Marvy Marv, and you are now tuned in to Gem Talk, where we have conversations that inspire greatness. And I got the man, the myth, the legend, the barber mogul with me. I got John Hall in the building, man. What's going on, bro?
What's up, Marv? What's good with you? What's good with you?
I'm chilling, bro. I always get pressed when I do these lives, right? Because I'm always a couple minutes behind. Somebody always comes on and yells at me for it. They be ready at 8:30 sharp, and they always get mad at me and say late. But I'm doing good, man. I'm here.
Good, good, good. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Last time I seen you, I think it was in March, man, at the OG Barber Award. You and I, we grabbed our award together there. So, man, that was the second annual one right there. So, we're one of the first ones to kind of grab this prestigious award here. So, I'm happy about that, man, and I was happy to meet you there.
Yeah, it's dope, bro. You see, mine is right where how I do it
Yes,
right
I see it.
there
I
in,
see
in the
it.
back. It was pretty cool, man. I was really honored to be a part of that because like I said on the stage there, Al was one of the first people that really inspired me, bro. And inspired me in the way where I understood that I can expand beyond the chair. You know, when I bought his book, and in his book, he's talking about building the brand and talking about all these different things you could do. And the fact that he had a book and he had products and he had all this stuff, he was, if I can really single it down to one person that inspired me to do all of this, barbers and all that, it's him. So it was real fire to be standing on the stage at his event, receiving an award from him. You know what I mean?
Yes, and you brought the energy too. I mean, like the type of person you are. I mean, you had that at the award ceremony too. So that was thrown there. So definitely want to give a shout out to Al Millions, Al Reed there, and Ozell Graham too as well, man. So want to give both of them a shout out before we get the rocking and rolling here with this conversation, sir.
Yes, those are the real OGs. I felt a little, it was a weird feeling because I feel like I don't feel like I'm an OG. You know what I mean? But I felt like I was in the room with the OGs. When I see Al and I see you and some of the other people in there, I'm like these are the OGs. But I guess I'm kind of the young OG now, right? I've been doing it 12, 13 years.
That's right. That's right. And I think you said that on stage too. You was like, man, I really don't feel like. Oh, I guess I am.
I guess I am. So if that's what I'm gonna be identified as, I got to start carrying myself like one. So barbers, I appreciate you guys tapping in. Let us know where you're tapping in from in the chat. I'm in upstate New York. John, you in the DMV area, right?
I'm in the DMV area, y'all. So I live in Maryland. My shops are in Alexandria, Virginia, right down the street from Reagan National Airport there, y'all.
Oh, cool. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Make sure you do that. I don't be telling people to do that enough. Hit the like button because we're about to go in. We're about to snap. And follow the Barber Mogul. There's a couple underscores in there. Make sure you follow him on IG. Is that the platform you're the most active on, or are you still more active on Facebook? Because that's what I come to learn is you very active on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm more strong on Facebook there, but definitely I'm trying to get my barber mogul IG going there. I do have my shop IG too, y'all. The underscore ultimate underscore barber. But working on my personal brand there too as well. So the barber mogul like Marv has on there.
Oh, perfect. So let's see what some of the places who tapped in to check out this conversation. We got Taylor tapping in from Buffalo. We got Juju tapping in from Victorville. We got Elevate Cuts Hair. Their barber school tapping in. They always tap in and show love. We got Texas in the building, California in the building, Long Island, Hawaii, Utah, Flint, Indiana, Atlantic City. We got people from all over the country, bro. Like, how dope is this when you think about it? We're in a virtual classroom right now with people from all over the world. How fire is this?
This is strong.
New Orleans, we DMV is in the building. You know what I'm saying? New Orleans. L'Oreal tapped in from Buffalo as well. Miami. A lot of places in here. So you were saying how you were more active on Facebook than Instagram, right? And what I've come to learn, especially more recently, like I've seen some of your stuff over the years for sure, but I'm not as active on Facebook as I once was. But, you know, seeing as we were having the conversation, I had to go dive back through Facebook and see what you were doing on there. Right. And what I come to know this, bro, is that you've kind of been ruffling feathers over there for some years now in that barber society group, man. And it's speaking some truth, and it's been kind of, people would say, controversial.
Yeah. So, man, the barber society. So, years ago, y'all, I was looking for a platform where some barbers can kind of come together, and I stumbled across the barber society, and within there, you know, as you know, you're being a barber there, you're trying to just trying to navigate your way around, trying to get your feet wet, get a little networking going, get to know some guys there, guys. All right. So, you know, when you get involved in a platform like that, you would like to be able to bring a little value. Okay. So, wanted to drop some value in there, and the value that I was dropping, as far as, you know, like some numbers and the kind of way I operate my barber shop and things. Like you said, Marv, some guys didn't take too kindly to it there. So that right there just kind of showed me, you know, I want to have some unity, you know, with us within in this barbering industry that we're in, but it seems like we're really just divisive. All right. So Marvin, I love what you're doing. All right, Marv, I love to see what you're doing right now and what you have going on, and trying to bring that unity back. And you're doing a great job with that. So I'm, you know, I'm gonna ride your coattail here and see what we can do is, you know, get this unity a little stronger here with the guys here. But there have been some posts that I've made in there, and it's been entertaining to me, to be honest with you.
What were some of the things that you shared? You know, that maybe some of the first things you could think of where you shared it, and you might have thought it was going to create a reaction, and then it turned out to be something a little different, where you were like, "Whoa, oh, hold up."
one is going to be the numbers. All right, it's the numbers, and just what I, you know, as far as my work ethic throughout the day. All right, and how many customers we had a board. We used to have a whiteboard in the back, and just put on there how many you know, clients that was cut for the day. And when people would see my numbers above 30 customer service, or maybe even 40 customer service, I think the most I've done in a day in that shop was like 54 customers in a day. And man, that's when it came off. That's when it came. As far as the haircuts got to look like some garbage. I'll never sit in his chair, and just a whole lot that was just being said. I'm like, wow. I don't think I ever you know, really had a barber that come and sit in the chair and, you know, and really, you know, paid me on a regular anyway. Right. But a lot of stuff that they were saying there, I was just like, man, this is interesting.
So you're sharing it from a place where you're trying to be inspirational, right? To like be like, yo, look, this is what I done. Yo, this is how we getting it out here. And the feedback was, it was wild.
Yes.
You know, they took it totally wrong.
Exactly, but I believe, you know, you were able to grab some good content off of that too. Yeah, have some social posts.
oh, for sure. Yeah, dude. Because bro, we're in such a interesting time, and I'm not sure how aware of it you are, because you've been active on Facebook, and I'm sure you're seeing it there too. But we are in such a weird time in the barber industry where it's almost like people want to become barbers but don't want to cut hair, right? Like they want to cut the least amount of hair as possible and make the most amount of money as possible, you know? So when you are saying things like I was saying, you know, try to fit in 10 to 12, 15 cuts a day type of stuff. And then when you come along and you're showing 32 services, 33, 35 services, bro, it's interesting because people are seeing that and they're looking at it like we're crazy. We're crazy for wanting to do 10 haircuts, 15 haircuts, or, you know, more a day. Almost like, you know, there's no way that you can put out quality in that time. You know, you're rushing the cut. You're about quantity over quantity and all these assumptions, when so many of them are you know, they're not right. And it's very weird to me, because for the 12, 13 years I've been a barber, I just haven't seen this many people want to claim they want to be barbers, claim they got passion for cutting hair, but yet want to do 3-4 haircuts a day and then call it a wrap.
I got a story for you. I got 2 stories for you. All right. So I hired some barbers. I done been through a lot of barbers. All right. At my barber shop. All right.
Because you're a shop owner. You have multiple
Yes.
shops, or
I'm a
one.
shop owner, not just, you know, I'm behind the chair too, y'all,
Yep,
but
gotcha.
I'm an operator owner. Okay.
Got you.
So I bring one guy in, and you know, kind of, I know of him from back in the day. Didn't really know him, but know from back in the day. And you know, had him come in, do a little demo. Man, cleanest fade I've seen in, man, a long time. I mean, it was clean. All right. So I'm like, boom. So I went ahead and hired him. All right. So I asked him, you know, what's been going on? He said, you know, life's been going on, this and that. I said, well, you know, when the last time have you been in the shop and cut? He said, you know, it's been a little bit, but I'm trying to get back in. You know, I want to get things together, get my life together, this and that. I'm like, all right, cool. All right. So, like I said, the cleanest fade I've seen in a long time. I said, oh, come on in. I got you. Man, he probably worked, you know, about a week, you know, then, you know, miss a day, come in late, this and that or whatever. And then one day, he just comes in, and he's probably there about a month now. All right, comes in, and he's like, John, he said, I didn't expect to be cutting this much hair. So I'm like, man, it's a barber shop. I was like, what you expect to be doing? You know what I'm saying? People come here to get a haircut. That right there kind of like it just put me in the left field. Okay. Then I had another guy. He hired him. He was working at another barbershop, said things weren't working out, this and that, whatever. So, you know, I knew he can cut. So had him come in, still, you know, do a demo, went through the process, do a demo. Let me see. Okay, boom. Sitting there. First day, you know, I think he does like 13, 14 cuts. All right. First day that he's in there. He never touched that again. All right. It came to a point that he said he was only going to cut one head an hour. All right. So it could be the easiest cut ever, man. About 20 minutes. He'll finish with that cut. He will go sit in his chair and pull up his iPad and watch a movie until the top of the hour. Once at the top of the hour came, then he, you know, told the receptionist, okay, I'm ready to take another one. We got like 5 walk-ins just sitting and waiting there. He's like, okay, now I'm ready to take somebody. He'll cut that person, go back to his chair and watch his movie until the top of the hour. Okay, I'm ready. I was like, wow.
Bro, it's very interesting. And what I'm hearing a lot, and, you know, throughout the industry from shop owners and just other barbers and from clients, right? Because I get a lot of engagement from clients on my TikToks and some of the skits I make, which I'm hoping barbers look at these comments and take the feedback, learn from the feedback, and then just be better, right? I'm hearing from clients and seeing amongst the industry, a lot of barbers are almost they feel like they're being inconvenienced when the shop phone rings or somebody tries to walk in. Like, God forbid somebody tries to walk in a barbershop and get a haircut. It's almost like barbers look at them like they're being inconvenienced, or they're almost offended. And it's just, it's a wild idea to even think about doing, you know? And I don't know if maybe it's just the OG in me, right? But I remember a time where barbers got happy to see people walk in the door. Exactly. Happy when that phone rang. That's people trying to literally give you money, and we're acting like it's an inconvenience to us, or we don't want to do it, or you just got to leave and go on the app and make an appointment. And it's just it's so interesting to see. And I'm sure for you, it's probably very, very interesting to see, because you've been doing this, what, 3 decades now?
Yeah, I've been doing it 37 years, sir. 37 years.
Yeah. So you know, you've been around. You've had been able to sustain your barbering career for 3 decades. So I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes. You know, you've seen some very good things come along, and then I'm sure you look at some of the stuff and you get, you know, super discouraged. But what I'm hoping that the people who are tapped in tonight could gain is the valuable insight that you're going to provide throughout this conversation, because being able to be successful and sustain a barbering career over 3 decades doesn't happen by accident, bro. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people come and go, open shops, close shops. You know, I'm sure you've seen it. You can't even count now, you know? So I'm hoping that the people tuned in, whether or not they want to do 30 haircuts a day, 50 haircuts a day, or whatever, I hope they could take something from this and apply it to whatever it is they're trying to do and be better because of this conversation. Because I know you're going to drop gems. I don't know if you've seen the comment that somebody said earlier when I just said that 50 cuts. Homeboy said if he did 50 plus cuts in a day, he would need 3 steroid shots for his back alone, bro. I want to ask you about that, man, because you actually sent me this too. Let me put it up on the screen. This was your today. This is today, October 3rd. And you text me this at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I'm done for the day. See you at 8:15. Drop the receipt. Total collected over $1,000. And I can't really, I would have to zoom in. It's hard for me to see on here.
26 sold.
26 sold. So the question that I have for you, and a lot of people appear to have, because when you look at, you know, this one right here, this is 1,339 services sold. This one, 35 services sold, almost 1,200. And then you look at, you can't really see services sold on here, but you know, these are all over $1,000 days. When you're showing us services sold, is that haircuts alone, or like some people in the comments were saying, does that include like a haircut? Then another service is a beard, another service is eyebrows. How is that structured? What does that look like?
That's a haircut. That's a client. That's a haircut. I'm straight haircut, y'all. All right. And I try to tell people off the top, hey, Mark.
So this is 26 haircuts you did today.
26 haircuts today.
On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. All right. So every day is booked for me, y'all. When I go into the shop, every day is booked. All right. I get text messages throughout the day. Can you squeeze me in? Can you squeeze me in? Can you squeeze me in? Okay. The worst. And all right. So what I'm about to do right now, y'all. All right. So we're going to start dropping the gems. Okay. The information that you're about to get right now, you will not get this in a textbook.
And barbers, make sure you're asking questions, because even if John or I don't answer them in real time, I'll save the questions and put them in a folder so that we can touch on them throughout the live. And anything we don't touch on, we'll make sure we'll touch on at the end of the live. So ask questions at any time. Just don't expect it to get answered right away.
Yeah. So what I'm giving y'all right now, you will not get this in the textbook, y'all. All right. Actually, this information right here, man, is almost like proprietary. Hey, Marv, hey, he can get paid a lot of money for this right here. All right. We sharing this.
Barbers.
Giving it to y'all. All right. We're going to give it to y'all. So the first thing, when I get these text messages of people trying to squeeze in, man, can you squeeze me in? Can you squeeze me in? The worst thing that you could tell a client, and I don't know, what's the worst word you can tell a client, Marv? Do you know?
I can't get you in.
Yeah, it's no. All right. You cannot say no. All right. Don't say no. So you can share with them, hey, man, I'm slammed today. I'm booked. Man, it look like the schedule's tight. It's going to be tough for a squeeze in. How you looking tomorrow? All right. I see Joe. Joe got on. He put no. All right. Perfect. All right. So that's how you got to converse with your clients. Okay. You cannot say no. All right. You have to word it in another way. All right. That's one. Now, two, when I was introduced to the barbering, I was 17 years old. By that time, I had probably been cutting for about 4 or 5 years. And my cousin, he was a barber. And he said, you know, he called me Johnny. He said, hey, Johnny, I heard you cutting this and that. I said, yeah, you know, I'm doing a little something. He said, so he gave me some tips. All right. And one of the tips was, he said, you know, he said, how long does it take to do your haircuts? And I really didn't know, because at that time, you know, a lot of us, we don't time it. We don't know. All right. He said, I don't care what haircut you do. He said, I'm gonna give you some tips. I don't care what haircut you do. It could be an afro, it could be a fade, or whatever. Even Steven, whatever. He said it should take no more than 15 minutes. I'll put that, that went into my memory bank.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. He said, I don't care what haircut you're doing. It should take no longer than 15 minutes. Okay. So I put that into my memory bank. All right. I go back home. At this time, I'm cutting in the basement at my parents' house. All right. So I started setting up my clock, and I started going by that and started working on my time. All right. Working on my timing.
So you started being intentional with your timing and actively paying attention.
Exactly. It took me a couple months. All right, it took me a couple months, but I got it to 15 minutes. All right, it was around, you know, the 30-minute, 20, 25 minutes, 23 minutes, 22 minutes. Finally got it to the 15-minute mark. Okay, to the point right now, Marv, right now, and I do this for every new barber that comes into my shop. Look at the clock because my people come in. I got them scheduled on a half hour. Okay, I had somebody come in. If it's 8:30, I have my new barber come over because I don't let them touch the floor right off the top. I want them, you know, I give them some training. I said it's 8:30 right now. I said when I finish with this haircut, it's going to be 8:45. Mm-hmm. I'll turn my back to the clock. Finishing up the cut, I'm cleaning the client off. We're taking off the cape. I say, look at the clock. When he looks at the clock, he's like, wow, it's 8:45. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just built into my, now it's just built in there. All right, yeah. 15 minutes. So to say that, y'all, it takes me 15 minutes to do a cut. 20 minutes, extra 5 if I got to do the beard. Okay. That gives me time to, I schedule every half hour, like I said, so I can work in a walk-in in between my next client and still be on time for my next client. All right, I got to do somebody at 8:30. I could take a walk-in and be ready for my 9 o'clock without him waiting.
So my question to you, after saying all of that, right? Well, first thing I want to point out is the fact that you were intentional with paying attention to your time is huge, right? Because that was part of the thing that helped me get better with my timing and when it speeding up my haircuts and being on time for my appointments. Because a lot of times, especially earlier in my career, you know, I was running behind on my appointments or just taking longer than I needed to because I wasn't looking at the clock. Mm-hmm. So now I do make it a conscious effort to make sure I'm looking at the clock, and it's become a habit. So now I don't got to think no more, but I'm consciously looking to make sure I'm on time with where I'm at in the cut to be able to be on time for my next appointment. So for some of you guys, a lot of you watching that want to cut faster, you don't have to do 15-minute cuts. Let's not get it twisted. Nope. But if you want to cut faster, one of the keys to being able to cut faster is pay more attention to the clock, because I promise you, a lot of you guys are just in conversation. You're in the service. You're not thinking about the time. And the next thing you know, you look up and it's just like, oh, shoot, I got to put some pep in it. So if you can catch that earlier, it can help you with your timing, right? But the question I have for you is, I want to know how you feel when you see things like this, right? When you see, show us the pics of his cuts, Marv.
There we go.
and then it's like, you know, that's the real question, you know, and 15 minutes is cool, but there's no detail in the cut. So I do want to hear your thoughts on it. Before you share them, I do want to share at least some of mine. Yeah. I just feel like that is part of the problem, bro. Like it to me, it's such a problem. And here's why I say that, right? Because this man, regardless of how you or I or any barber out here feel about his haircuts, this man did 26 haircuts today on a Tuesday. And made over $1,000 a Tuesday, right? You look at some of this other 39, September 23rd, made almost $1,400, right? So he's putting out these numbers. He's been a barber for over 3 decades. Don't you think that if he was out here just jacking people up and ruining people, have people walking around crazy, he wouldn't have been able to sustain what he's doing and continue to have success to the point where he's doing 26 haircuts on a Tuesday in an era where barbers don't do 26 haircuts in a week? So for me, it does get me fired up when people just, well, let's see the haircuts. It don't matter, bro. At the end of the day, numbers are what the numbers are. People are coming to him, paying him for the service. Man is making over $1,000 a day. So your opinion or my opinion matters none at the end of the day, because his books are still full. So with that being said and that off my chest, what are some of your thoughts when you hear that and see that?
Well, for one, the first receipts I sent you, Marv, for those, I think it was like 4 or 5. That was right after Labor Day. So I intentionally did that.
Do it
Tuesday.
live. Here's another one. Do it live, as if it's like what, you know. But that could be somebody that wants to see it too. I could be
Yeah,
just
for
misinterpreting.
sure. So Tuesday, right after Labor Day, y'all.
Yeah.
Tuesday, $1,000. Wednesday, 1,000. Thursday, 1,000. Friday, 1,000. Saturday, 1,000. A little over 1,000, but it was 1,000. All right. Normally after the holiday, all right, after the kids done went back to school, after a holiday, a barbershop is slow for um, typically like 2 weeks, a week or two, because everybody rushed in before. All right, everybody rushed in before to get the cut. Okay, and I intentionally sent that to Marv so he can see that right after the holiday, still jumping. All right, didn't miss a beat whatsoever. Okay, so I try to tell people when I see, hey, show me the cut, this and that, whatever. It doesn't matter. All right, that shouldn't even be your question. All right, it doesn't matter because people are piling in. All right, people say I'm trying to squeeze in. Okay, I'm taking walk-ins because people know that, man, I can't, man, I went on the schedule. I cannot get in. I cannot get booked. I cannot get in. So I'm gonna walk in and try my hand. Okay, so what do I do, Ma? All right, for the walk-ins, because I used to see this when I was younger. Guys would charge for the appointment, and for the walk-in, it was just regular price. All right, coming to the door. Didn't make sense to me. All right. You're discouraging the person to make the appointment if you're going to charge them more to schedule an appointment versus if they just walk in, they can pay regular price. So what do? My appointments, they're scheduled on there. If I have a walk-in coming in, I charge him more. Okay, because that's a convenience right there. Okay, he's coming in and he's conveniently just going to walk in and just get him a haircut without making an appointment. All right, cool. Guess what, Mom? Guess what?
What happened? These
guys are happy to pay more. I'm getting more and more walk-ins now. All right, my guys, they know it. They know it. It's just a little bit more now. They don't care. I'm getting in that chair.
So we got a bunch of questions coming in, bro. Some of them I want to see if you could tap in and touch on some of them. Like Showtime says, how do you not get tired of cutting that many people? That's so many energies, because it can be a lot as barbers, right? When people are coming in with their baggage and all the stuff that they got going on, and it's just a different mix of people. So how do you handle all of that?
So you just touched it right there. All right, you get tired quicker when you keep somebody in your chair for an hour and 15 minutes, because that energy, all right, that energy transfer, that you're listening to that person. All right, you listen to that person giving you their complaints. All right, talking about what's going on at home, what's going on at the job. That energy transfers over to you, and that drains you. That pulls all of your energy up out of you. All right, me, all right, getting them in, getting them out. I'm not even taking any of that. And if the conversation does try to go that route, I turn it positive. Okay, got to keep it positive. When I was a younger barber, I would be in there. I'm having a good day. I don't cut a client, cut 2 clients. Next thing you know, my attitude just changed. All right. Now I'm feeling a certain type of way. I'm feeling like, man, I'm just got this anger in me. And I'm like, man, where did that come from? Where did that pop from? That energy transfer that came from this person. I'm hearing everything that's going through their mind, this and that, whatever they're saying. And then it comes over to me. And now all of a sudden I done took on those emotions and things that they had. And now I'm drained. I'm done. All right. No good for the day. Okay. So you want to keep everything positive, y'all. All right. If that conversation seems to start turning a little sour, a little south, if they're in there complaining, this and that, bring them up. All right. Change it, switch the conversation. All right. Switch it over, turn it to something positive there. You will contain that energy where you will not get drained as quick. This is why I understand why a lot of barbers say, man, I can't do no more than 10 people. All right. They don't sat on this person for an hour or whatever the case may be. They don't took on all of the problems and things that person have. They're done. All right. It's like, man, I can't make it through. Okay. I finished up today at 8 to 5 today, y'all. We take our last customer at 4:30. All right.
That was good, because I was going to ask you that question too. It says 26 haircuts and he's done by 5. What time does he start? So is that your shift, 8 to 5?
Yes. The shop is at 8. I take our last customers at 4:30. All right. After that, we do have some people that try to walk in. We cut off is at 4:30 there. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow. Try to get on the book, get yourself scheduled. We'll see you tomorrow.
How do you manage the back pain and wrist pain? What do you do about it? What's some of your advice when it comes to the demand on your body physically? And before you answer, it's always interesting to me how, like, this is some of the conversation I've been having recently, where it's like, all right, you got one barber that's doing 2 haircuts in an hour, and then you got another barber that does 1 haircut in an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, and the barber that's doing the 1 haircut assumes that the barber that's doing 2 is working harder, when at the end of the day, you're both standing on your feet. And in fact, the one that's doing the hour and a half service is on their feet longer in that specific example, right? So, to me, I do understand how if you are cramming a lot in, it can feel overwhelming. It could be an overwhelming, let's say, 8 hours, right? If you're not being efficient, you don't have your systems and stuff like that. But, if you're a booked barber and you're on your feet for 8 hours, whether you're doing 6 haircuts in that 8 hours or you're doing 15 haircuts in that 8 hours, you're still on your feet for 8 hours. So it's always interesting to me. And you're cutting hair. It's not like you're not moving the clippers, right? But what do you do as far as, like, how do you carry yourself to help prevent the back pain or wrist pain, or what do you do as far as things to your body to help with that?
Guys, y'all in there now looking cute in the barbershop, man. You're in there with your Chuck Taylors on, or you're in there with your Nikes on and this and that, whatever. You got to get some comfortable shoes, y'all. All right. So it just comes down to that. I tell a lot of my guys, they coming in, the fresh Jordans, this and that, whatever. Now we got to switch that out, man. You got to have some comfortable shoes. Guess what I got, y'all? Some Skechers. All right. The little sock Skechers. Anti-fatigue mat. All right. When I look on some of the times I see these shops on IG and this and that, them guys are not standing on an anti-fatigue mat. I said, man, the knees, the back is going to be an issue. Okay. So you just got to make sure you're as comfortable as possible when you're behind that chair working, y'all. So those two are very important. You can even have some of the socks that got the cushions around the sole and the heel of your foot too as well. So anything that can provide that extra cushion there, so you don't have that tension, that strain on the back, it's perfect there. All right. With the wrist, it is now. I'm gonna tell y'all, man. I've been doing this for 37 years now. So there is a time, sometimes that might get a little cramp, a little lock up there, and that's just over the years of just moving. All right, and that's just going to happen. So I had told myself when I turned 40, I had about 10 more years that I was going to bang as hard as I could. Then start, kind of pull back a little bit, y'all, because my body is going to tell me, hey, it's time to just kind of cut back a little bit there. So, go to the gym, try to stay in the best shape as I can. I don't abuse my body. Okay. So, a lot of guys that when they come in, they first start working, the first thing they have issues with is their feet, in their legs, basically. All right. They be tired. All right. And I tell them, you got to build up your endurance. You got to get your endurance built up because they're not used to it. After a while, they see it and they start getting it built up. And, they're able to make it through a day without having to, take the shoes off or go sit down in the back or anything.
And feet be thumping like a heart. You feel the pulse in the feet.
First thing I tell them, you got to change those shoes, man. The boots. I used to cut in Timbs. All right. When I was younger, I had a whole different look. So I'm in Timbs, Chuck Taylors. I got flat feet. I'm in Chuck Taylors. It don't last long. So even my little young barbers that come in, 19, 20 years old, they trying to be in the Chucks and this and that. I tell them, I say, hey man, y'all got to switch that out. They get it after about 3 weeks. 3 weeks or so that they understand, like, yeah, Mr. Hall, you were correct. You're right.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. I love that insight for sure, because as a barber, it is common to fall into that trap of, thinking that if we're going home feeling this pain from, doing too many haircuts, that maybe we should just cut back on the amount of haircuts we do. Right. And that's not necessarily the case. It just may be a lack of information or a lack of understanding of how to operate in a more efficient and better way. Right. So with some of the stuff you're sharing about the shoes, right, and different things and the things you're wearing in the shop, that could help. I love this comment too. Marvin the barber says, ever since I started going to the gym, the pain don't come no more. And I always find it interesting, man. It's like, I just went on this rant the other day on my live. Like, we complain about all of these pains and different things going on with our body, and we're tying it to the fact that we're doing a lot of haircuts. It's like, bro, no, it's you. We ain't going to the gym. We ain't stretching, right? We ain't taking jogs. We ain't taking walks. Let's start with a walk around the block. You know, we're eating poorly. We're not drinking no water throughout the day, and we're operating in all of these ways that are so unhealthy. And rather than trying to learn how to take care of our health and how to carry ourselves in a way that's going to be less demanding on our body in the shop, we just assume that, you know what, we just got to do less haircuts and start charging $500 a haircut, you know, and it's not the case. So I love that you're bringing that insight for sure, because I'm sure there's a lot of different things that you're going to tap on throughout this that are going to be little key things that help, you know.
Hey Marv, there's and hey guys, if y'all seen the barber cutting for a while, they had I got it in my phone somewhere, but there's a picture of the metamorphosis of a barber, and starting, you know, real slim, got the six pack or whatever, and as the years go on, and all of a sudden the stomach's getting bigger, all right, yep. Stomach getting bigger and bigger. Hey, that play a toll on your back right there, y'all. As that stomach starts to grow.
Yeah, especially when you cutting in Timbs, right? Standing there in them Timbs, right? Question for you, John. What are some tips that you have for the barbers tapped in when it comes to being able to cut faster? You say you do haircuts in 15 minutes, right? So you're clearly super efficient, right? Super effective. Of course, there are going to be people that he's jacking up haircuts, which I'm sure we could pull up some haircuts, shut that up real quick. Yep. But that's even besides the point. What's some of your advice for people who want to cut quicker, even if it's not 15 minutes, they want to cut quicker? What is some of your thinking as to how you approach a haircut, your equipment? There are people that say there's no way he's being sanitary if he's moving that quick. What is some of your insight to all of that type of stuff?
So for one, y'all, the barber I see with like 12 pair of clippers sitting on the station, 13 pair of clippers on the station. That right there is that lets me know that he's a slow barber.
So the fact that we're buying every new clipper that drops from every new company that comes out every week is the reason why you can't cut faster. And don't lose your train of thought, because I want to share this real quick. I just got given a pair of clippers from my homie Nito. He gave me a pair of Gamma Boosted clippers. How many of you guys use the Gamma Boosted? Let me know in the chat. But I used them for the first time today, right? So I went in the shop. I cut one of my barbers. I didn't even go there to do a haircut. I was just there to do some stuff, and he wanted to cut. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use the Gamma Boosted, right? So I go to use them, and they cut very well. They're a great clipper, right? But it was a slightly different feel from what I'm used to, because all I use now is the JRL Onyx. I was using the JRL 2020C. I've been using the JRL Onyx, and I've figured out my system to where I'm super efficient with those things. Clean cuts, a timely manner. I know exactly my approach every time. I got it down. So using the Gamma Boosted, even though they cut clean, I was still trying to figure it out, right? So it was slowing me a little bit down, right? So I say all that because that is true, bro. Like trying to use too many different clippers and things like that is definitely something that's confusing us, or at least slowing us down and making us not efficient as we could be. So just to like solidify that point where you're saying the barber that got 12 clippers on station is a slow barber.
Right. And I mean, for real, y'all, why do you need all those clippers? All right. Why do you need all those? All right. Only reason that I've seen a lot of barbers, because they start getting hot. All right. Hey, I got to get on another one. Okay. Trust your hand, guys. All right. Trust your hands. I'll see a barber. He'll do a full shape up. All right. After you cut the hair, he'll do a full shape up right here, whatever. Then he'll come back with the razor and go ahead and then touch it too as well. I'm like, and I tell my young barbers, I said, why don't you trust your hand? All right. Why are you outlining with some with the trimmers, and then you're coming back with the razor and hitting it again? Okay, go ahead, put that shave gel on there, put it on there, and go ahead and hit that line once. All right, get it tight the first time. All right, get it sharp the first time. Trust yourself. All right, if not, get your hand tighter. All right, so you'll be able to do that.
Just cut the hair once, that type of thing. Cut the hair once.
That's it. Yeah. I got one of my young guys came in. He's watching YouTube. All right, watching YouTube. So watched him do a cut. It took him at the time. He's straight now because I showed him how to do it. All right, cut one side of the hair. All right, cut the whole head, fade the whole head, cut the whole head, shape up this side right here, spin them around, cut this side of the head, fade it, shape everything, shape this up, align it up, okay, and then cut the back, cut that, fade it, get that together, fade everything out, hit it with the razor, whatever, boom, boom, boom. I said, my guy, you just did 3 haircuts on one person. All right. I said, look at the time. Took you an hour. All right. You did 3 haircuts on one person and you only got paid one time. I said, come on now. All right. So I used to sit in the barbershop and just watch the barbers. And I just used to say, like, man, why is he being so repetitive? He's doing the exact same thing again. Okay. I don't know if it's the talking or what, but just the same. I said, man, you done faded it 4 times already. Why are you still hitting it? So I learned how to be really efficient. I learned a lot of those steps are unnecessary, guys. And if you come back and look, you guys do a lot of unnecessary steps that you're doing 2 and 3 times if you don't have to.
Yeah, I've seen, like, for example, with the cutting the hair once thing, the mistake I used to make, and I see a lot of barbers make it, is, you know, if they were going to do a skin fade on me, right, their process might look like bringing all of this down to a 2, right? We're going to clear this out with a 2, right? And what I used to do, and I see a lot of barbers do, is they'll cut all of this hair, including the back, all of this, all this with the 2, right? And then come in and maybe hit it with the clipper closed and start the guideline with the clipper closed, right? And doing that where, you know, nowadays I know, okay, I don't need to cut all of this with a 2. I don't need to cut all of this with the clipper closed if I'm going shorter than that, right? I need to get it down as low as I plan on going, right? So now for me, I'll do like the 2 in this area, and then I'll come in with the adjusted trimmer I have to bald it out, and just doing that alone saves a few minutes because now I'm not cutting this hair with the 2 when I'm going to cut it again. So, you know, just to reiterate the point of when you guys are cutting hair, do your best to try to cut it once, even with the edge up, where maybe I'm gonna have to step mine up and do more like you. But what I do now is if I'm edging up, I don't make it the sharpest edge up. It's just a real quick rough draft of the edge up because I know I'm coming in with the razor anyway. So I'm not sitting there all day and trying to perfect it. No, it's a rough draft. And then when I get the razor, that's when I really tighten it up. But I save a lot of time by doing that as well. So some of you guys will find that super helpful as well. Question to you, bro. What is your clippers of choice? What are you using? What's your setup looking like?
So, hey, y'all, I'm in love because I've been using this since the beginning of the time, y'all. All right. So the seniors, all right. I love a senior. I still have, don't laugh at me, guys, now. All right. So I haven't gotten to the gammas or anything yet. I still have Model 10, all right, plugged in. Okay. That's my speed clipper.
You know what's crazy? I don't even know what that is. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what's crazy.
So you got the 76 Classics, all right, and then you got the Model 10. Gotcha. Model 10 was a little before that there, all right. So, but I still got the Model 10. That's a speed clipper, okay. So that one you knock it out. And then I have the Andis, all right, Master, all right, my Fade Master, and then I love now I fell in love with y'all because I just love the Andis trimmers, but I fell in love with the cordless GTX.
I love them too. I got them on my station.
Yeah, so I rock with that, and that's it right there, y'all. So when I first started cutting, y'all, be honest with y'all, so I only had one clipper, and that was the senior, and I did everything with that, y'all. I had the zero gap. I even I was shaping up with it. All right, did my fade, did my cut, and then I'll close it and go ahead and do my shape up with it. Until my mother went and bought me some trimmers, the little wall trimmer at the time. She went and bought me that. So I only cut, be honest with y'all, 3 clippers, 4 at the most, but 3 clippers, that's all I use.
I love it. And what I hope you guys are hearing is that he found a system that works for him and he sticks with it. All right. That's the key. And the problem with nowadays is the marketing is so good, especially with social media and all of this stuff going on. It's so easy for us to fall into the trap of wanting to buy the latest, newest clipper that is dropping, that looks cool, that maybe our favorite influencer is using. And what I'm hoping you're taking away from some of what John is saying is that you don't need to do all that. You just need to find what works for you and use what works for you. One of the tips that helped me from a barber that was shared to me a few years ago was, if you really love a clipper, bro, buy multiple versions of that same clipper. You don't need to buy all these different clippers. Once you have something that works for you, figure that out, learn that. And then once you really love that, if you want to get a new clipper, just get another one of that, right? Because that can even help with the sanitation and switching out and all of that too, right?
I tell my barbers, get to know your clipper just like you know your lady. All right. You got to know that clipper like the back of your hand, what it can do and what it can't do. Okay. Yeah. So you should be able to come in and you should be able to do a whole fade with just one clipper. Everything. All right. You shouldn't have to switch up with this and that, whatever. Hey, Mom, I'm gonna throw this out here. Hey, I got a lot of I got a lot of flack for this too.
Okay.
That half guard.
Yep.
Hate it.
Okay, you're gonna have to talk, because I love the half guard. When I was in barber school, I remember my teacher, he literally wrote on it the truth, right? And he showed us, he's like, this is the truth. So maybe it just got instilled at me so early in my career that it's just been something that is a part of me. Yeah. But I love having the half guard. So I need to hear this. Why do you hate it?
Hey, because it's cheating. All right, it's trying to tell me, it's almost like having a safety razor. Okay. I'm like, that's it. When my barbers come in and they're using that because they rely on it a lot. I say, why do you keep using that? Okay. You got the adjustable, adjust with it, but they got to have that half guard on there. So I'll take that half guard and throw it in the trash. Mr. Hall, what did you just do? Let's get that thing out of here, man. It's showing me that you're just getting started. All right. I need you to show me that you're a professional in here. Let's go.
Whoa. How do y'all feel about the half guard? Let us know in the chat. Do you love it, or are you throwing it in the trash?
Hey, they beat me up on the Barber Society with that one. They beat me up on the Barber Society with that one.
Oh man, yeah, I've been using the half guard for a while now. It's it's part of my system, John, so it's staying there. All right, we're not throwing it out.
You're good. That was just me. This is the OG in me.
Arlene loves it. Dwayne said, I lean on the half guard so bad. And then AT says they got to learn how to flick that wrist.
There you go. There you go. That's Ozell. Yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah, been using it less and less actually. I love it. John, what do you do?
Is that Marv, y'all? Or is that me? Lost a little connection there. Let's see. Am I good? I think I'm good. Picture. Did we lose Marv, y'all? Did we lose him? He got quiet on me. Did we lose Marv, y'all? Can y'all hear me? We lost him. Okay. All right. Let's hold tight. He'll be back in a minute, y'all. We'll be able to talk about some other stuff too. I know he's talking about the cutting right now, but I really want to talk to you guys too, as far as with that, with the chair, with the prices, man. People really focusing on prices. I want to talk to y'all that's not really what I want y'all to focus on. Okay, so I'll wait for Marv to come back, but a lot of stuff I'm gonna drop on y'all. If we got time permitting here, like I said, a lot of the stuff you're not gonna get in the textbook whatsoever. All right, so wait for him to come back, and we'll rock it from there. I don't want to take over his show. I do not want to take over his show. But y'all can ask some questions though. Ask some questions in the meantime. Check the chat out here. See what's good. What we got here? What we got? We got also 30 plus years. I love you. Okay. You love to have God. All right. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna beat you up on it. I'm not gonna beat you up on it for sure. What we got? How do you feel about barbers working at a non-traffic barbershop? Oh, I think you're saying, oh, wait a minute. What up, y'all? What's up, Mom? We lost you.
So this, are you still on there?
Yeah, I'm still on. We talking. I'm on here chatting with the people. Where you at?
Okay. Yeah, hold them over. I don't know what happened with my Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. My Wi-Fi kicked off.
Okay.
So just give them some game. Let them know you on FaceTime with Marv.
Yep. Hey, y'all.
I'm gonna unplug my router and plug it back in. I don't know what happened, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Y'all don't know what happened. Wi-Fi, just shut off.
All right, I'm waiting for you. We waiting for you. All right.
All right, bro. Give us the game.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I think you said it says non-traffic, but is it non-traffic? And I do before we finish out, we got some mentorship, y'all. I actually got a barbering program, but I'm gonna wait for Marv to come back and he'll get all that to you guys. All right. So I got a course, actually, y'all. I got a course. This is serious. All right. This right here, because where it's going to start first, because I get a lot of what I'm seeing right now is guys are like, man, you know, the cut got to be trash. No way he's doing that. He's capping. This and that, whatever the case may be. It's the mindset first, y'all. All right. It's going to be your mindset first. So it's going to fall in either you believe you can or you believe you can't. Either way, you are exactly right. You are correct. You can believe you can do it or you can believe that you cannot do it. You're right. All right. So I had to see it for myself, y'all. All right. I had to see it for myself. First, I was asking. All right. There you go. There you go.
Bro, back. What happened?
I thought it was me. I was like, oh, we froze and we done. Everybody's like, no, we can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My Wi-Fi just like kicked out, but luckily I had a hotspot on my for Verizon, so it allowed me to hop back in. So sorry for cutting you off. Finish whatever point you was making. I'm probably missing some game you was dropping, bro.
Yeah, I was just telling him, man. A lot of times, like you're saying, with the question, he's capping and this and that, or there's no way to cut it some trash, this or whatever. I just said, you know, it starts with the mindset, Mo. So either you believe you can or you believe you can't. Either way, you are exactly right. You are correct. All right, however you want to believe it, but definitely, I love to work on the mindset of people first and let them know that they can believe that they can do it. Because I had to see it. Okay, a lot of times when I was dropping my numbers and things like that, what it does, it just gives a lot of inspiration to some of the barbers. Like, man, you know what? Yeah, we can do that there. With you guys just seeing a couple of y'all on here, just seeing the receipts that Marv put out there right now, $1,000 in a day. I guarantee, I ain't got to tell you nothing else. I guarantee y'all are going to work on that. And y'all are going to get close to it. All right. You'll make more money than what you've made probably right now. Just seeing that right there, you're like, hey.
That's on a Tuesday too, bro. That's y'all. What I think is so dope about it.
Tuesday, y'all. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the least busiest day in the shop. Wednesday, they used to run promotions. Okay. Hump days. All right. But like this right here, y'all, this is right after Labor Day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I sent that over to him. Okay. And I just want $1,000 each day, y'all. After Labor Day. That's when the barbershop is dry. Dead, closed, all right, dry. Okay. Hey, Mark. Also, I got two questions. For you, real quick. I need you to answer this for me. Got two questions. First, what does the barber that says he does not cut kids? How is he looking around back to school time? Is he busy? Is he working? What is he doing?
Man, bro.
What is he doing?
Bro, he's sitting around posting on Instagram. Some reposts from some old work that he did back when he was a little bit busier, when it wasn't as slow for him as it is now, bro. Like, what are you talking about, bro? And I get it, right? I get it from the angle of kids could be tricky, they could be a lot, they move around a lot. I understand, bro, but it's on us as barbers. We're barbers, bro. We're barbers. It's on us to learn how to handle them and deal with them and be efficient with them and get them in and out quicker. See, me, I'm doing half-hour slots. I ain't on John Hall time where I'm doing 15 minutes yet. Maybe I'll get there, right? But I'm half-hour slots. But when I'm cutting a kid, like you said earlier, you make it your mission to get cuts done in 15 minutes back when you first started to decide to cut that fast, when you got hit with that gym. I'm getting the kid in and out my chair in 20 minutes or less, bro. I'm looking at that clock. I'm moving. I ain't doing all that talking, lollygagging, laughing, playing. Nah, bro. 20 minutes or less, and they're leaving with a quality cut. But to say I don't cut kids no more, I get it. I do. But I'm not a fan of that, bro.
And I got one more barber. What about that barber say he's not taking any new clients? What is he doing? Is he growing? Or what? What is he doing with his career?
So he's definitely not growing. He might be at a spot where he's content and happy with what he has, and may be thinking of trying to explore other avenues, maybe. But even that whole I'm not taking new clients thing, let's call it for what it is, bro. It's a flex. I mean, it's just we're trying to flex, guys. We want to be able to make that post say, I'm not taking any more clients. So it makes us come off as more valuable to the public. But bro, what happens when you know what I mean? Like Mike decides he wants to grow his hair out. Now you're not seeing him every week like he once was. Or Kevin gets fired from his job and now can't afford to come see you every 2 weeks like he was. Or Ray falls in love with a girl and now all he doing is wrapped up in her arms. Or you know what I mean? Sean decides he got a new job or wants a career change and looks for a new job in a different city, and now it's super inconvenient to come to you. You know what I mean? So it's more a flex than anything. But you know, I don't know. How do you feel about all that?
When I'm winning.
Yeah,
They're coming to me. I'm winning because
bro.
I have people. They'll come into the shop and they'll ask me, John, are you taking any more, any more clients? Are you taking on any more clients? I'm like, man, what type of question is that? But some barber had told them that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah. Hey, we'll work you in. We'll get you on the schedule. We'll make it happen for you. Okay. And kids, I started out with kids. All right. I started out with kids. I love the kids. All right. That I seen somebody posting here. That's the future, and you're exactly right. Okay, there's guys that I've been cutting since I was 13, 14 years old that I cut to this day. Still my clients, y'all. All right, and guess who I'm cutting? I'm cutting their kids. All right, I'm cutting their kids right now. And I had a young lady that I went to college with. She referred. She worked at a daycare. She referred 2 kids over. All right, they were mixed kids. So the barber that the mother was taking them to could not cut their hair, curly hair, this and that, just killing them. All right. So she said, I know somebody that can do it. Send them over to me. They became my clients. All right. And guess what? Then dad came in. All right. Dad came in and he started getting his cut. Okay. Then guess what? Grandpa came in. All right. He started getting his cut. To this day, I cut 3 generations. All right. I see them sitting in the barber shop. I took a picture. It's on my the Ultimate Barber page. Took a picture. I said, this is 3 generations right here. All right. I got grandson, I got son, and I got father or grandson, father, and grandfather, however you want to say it. Sitting right there, all waiting to get their cut. It was amazing. And that's what brings me the joy of barbering with that.
All absolutely.
Right? The last time, listen to me, y'all. The last time I worked, all right, was September 30th, 2005. That's the last day I worked in my life. I haven't worked since. John, what you talking about? All right. Once you find something that you love, you never work another day in your life. Okay. I became a full-time barber because at that time I was working at the State Department and then cutting, on the weekends. All right. I said, boom, cut that out. Opened up my first full service salon and spa, brought it on, doing it full time. The last time I worked a job, y'all, feeling like I worked September 30th, 2005. I have not worked another day in my life. People are like, man, how are you just in here and you work, boom, and don't feel like I'm working? It doesn't feel like work. That's how I'm able to bang the way I bang. It does not feel, it's fun to me.
Yeah. And I love that you say that, because one of the other thought processes that have entered our industry is that the people that are doing 10, 15, 20 haircuts a day, they don't enjoy cutting hair. They don't love cutting hair. It's a weird thing to see, because it's like the people who want to do the least amount of haircuts are the ones that are claiming that they're the most passionate about cutting hair. And they're also the ones a lot of times that will say, quality over quantity, right? Like it's not about quantity. You're just the barber that's doing 15, 20 cuts is just doing it for the money. And it's always weird to me, because I'm like, but bro, you're the one that's trying to do 3 haircuts for $500 a piece. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just a weird thing. But, I say all that because it is interesting, bro. Like, believe it or not, guys, there are people that still love cutting hair. Like I enjoy being in the shop. I enjoy being around my clients, 10, 15, whatever I'm doing. I enjoy it. I love it. Like I'm trying to inform people who may be new to coming across me, bro. If you don't enjoy cutting hair, if you feel like it's just way too much, and there are other things you can do, bro. Like, you don't have to be a barber. Maybe it's just not for you. You know what I mean? But to think that every barber who's doing 10 cuts, 15, 20 cuts, don't care about quality, is overworked, is burned out, doesn't love cutting hair, all they care about is money. It's just, it's an interesting mindset that has entered our industry.
You got two type of people, all right, in the barbershop that work in the barbershop. You got barbers, all right.
You got barbers.
They love it. They love it. They love it. And then you got people that cut hair. All right. The person that's cutting hair, he's just going through the motions. All right. So you got two types of people in the barbershop.
I love it. Question: wavy cuts. Appreciate all you guys sending in the super chats. I know a few of you guys did. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. I'm assuming you haven't answered this yet. What's your fading system? Do you fade up or fade down?
Both.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on the hair type. All right. It depends on the hair type. So if it's coarse, I'm fading up. All right. Straight hair, I'm fading down. So it just, like I said, it depends on the hair type. I examine it. I look at it. I've been doing this for a long time, y'all. So I know exactly what I need to do with it to be able to get that person taken care of in a timely fashion. Yeah.
And I love that you say that, because guys, we got to start thinking from instead of saying, do you fade up or fade down, or you do this, or it's and, right? I fade up and I fade down, right? Because it's not just a one size fits all thing. Some way, sometimes it's going to work better to fade up. Sometimes it's going to work better to fade down. Me, I feel like I do a mixture of both as well. Like for me, a lot of times I obviously clear out the bulk, as I mentioned earlier, and then I start fading up, and then I fade down. And it's almost, I call it like the sandwich thing, where I'm like trying to create the sandwich wherever I'm trying to place the fade. So it's a mixture of both. But guys, just understand, you don't have to do it like it's just one way. Sure, you want to learn whatever way works for you, and do your best to work that. But there's going to come times where one way works better than another. Like he just said, what on straight hair you'd fade up, you said coarse hair you fade down.
No, coarse hair I fade up, straight hair I fade down. Make sure, guys, that you're able to do this is a gym. Make sure you're able to do both techniques. All right, learn that. All right, just don't do one or just do the other. Make sure you're able to, like Marv said, able to do both techniques and have a system. All right, I got a lot of barbers that come into my shop that swear they're the best thing since sliced bread, and I'll see them get lost in the haircut. I see him. He's over there. I said, yeah, he done got lost. He don't know what to do. He don't know which way to go. All right. So just make sure you guys get your system there, and that'll work on your time too.
Do you use a lot of guards, or you do a lot of clipper over comb?
So on coarse hair, guards. All right. Straight hair is clipper over comb.
I hope you guys are paying attention and listening to some of this. For sure, man.
Yeah, I learned that from my hairstylist, y'all. So I used to own a full service salon and spa, and used to have hairstylists in there. And I learned from them to clipper over comb, because I was a straight clipper guy, y'all. I was clipper and guards, all right, all the way through straight hair, coarse hair, curly hair, whatever. And once I started getting more straight hair clients, and that's what they preferred, because a lot of them were coming from going to like salons, getting a haircut. They want to try to get back into the barbershop atmosphere. I try to give them the same experience that they were getting in the salon, but them being in the barbershop. And a lot of guys have had people that not proficient with the clippers really mess them up. So then they're just guarded. They're like, no clippers on the cop. No, not at all. So even though that's what you do and you're good at it, you got to be able to still be a little versatile too.
So my homie Jeezy, shout out to my guy 360 Jeezy, great dude right there. He says, so I just looked up John on IG. Question for him: why doesn't he have barber content on his IG? Now, before you answer it, I do just want to say, hopefully, one thing you guys take away from this even question before John answers it is the fact that he don't have barber content on his IG. All right, he don't. And he still did 26 haircuts today on a Tuesday. And he still was doing 30 plus haircuts a day at, what was it, after Labor Day, you said?
After Labor Day.
He don't have barber content on his IG. So for those of you that think that all you need is barber content on your IG, like that's the magical cure, barber content on your IG. And next thing you know, your books are going to be filled and people are going to be rushing through the door. And you absolutely think you need to have it in order to build a clientele. You are looking at a man on the screen who did 26 haircuts today. And Jeezy's asking him, why doesn't he have barber content on his IG? So why don't you have barber content on your IG?
360 G's. What's up, babe? So that's my like personal IG there that you see there. So that was more or less just me and my lifestyle. I have a business page, but it's done intentionally because I eventually, if I want to go ahead and just step away from the shop, people won't just, it won't just be me. All right. I have it where when people come into the barbershop, they can sit in any chair, all right, and be able to get the exact same haircut. Now, I use this example all the time. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go. I'm going to ask Mar right now. Mar, what's your favorite restaurant that you like to go to? What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh, man. I don't have one. The one I've been going to probably the most with my wife has been Longhorn.
Okay.
That's probably been it more as of recently.
I can do that. That's cool. Who's the chef?
Yeah. Beats me. He's doing a good job, though.
All you do when you place that order, you want to make sure that that food is coming out the way you ordered it and it's supposed to be on point. So if you go to a Longhorn where you live at now, and then let's say you go to a Longhorn in another state, when you place that order for that favorite meal on that menu, you're expecting it to come out a certain way. All right. Now, I don't know why. You go into a barbershop and you got to be like, you got to pick and choose. Like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a good haircut here. Or this one, that case may be. It should not be like that, y'all. You should be able to sit in any chair and get the haircut that you asked for, that you requested. All right. So that's what I train my barbers on when they come in. I train them, show them my techniques and what I do. And I'll have them, they'll go home. One of my guys is like, man, he asked his son, man, who cut your hair? And he said, the young lady cut it. He was like, man, that look like a John Hall cut right there. All right. Train. They should be able to sit in any chair. There should be no backlog. All right. People are coming to the barbershop. They want a haircut. Make sure they're able to get one. So if I remove myself, I want to make sure my clients of the barbershop are still able to get the exact same service they would get if I was there, if I'm not there. Yeah. That's why I don't have myself on there. I don't even have my barbershop is the ultimate barber, y'all. All right. I'm sorry. The ultimate barber. It's not John's barbershop. All right. Nothing like that. I want them to be able to come in. They're getting service at the ultimate barber. I want them to be able to identify with anybody in there and be able to get the haircut that they want at the time, whenever they want.
And guys, what I want you to take away from what he's saying too is he comes from an abundance mindset. And what that means is he's not scared to like share tips and different techniques and ways that he cuts because he has a fear of losing clients, right? It's the understanding. He understands that he's always going to get people to come see him, right? And I think a lot of times barbers, and it's unfortunate, but even shop owners, we get so scared to want to share and help each other because there's that competitive side or that ego side where it's like you want to feel like you're holding the edge over the other people around you, like you're the best, right? Everybody, we all want to feel like we're the best barber in the shop, where ultimately where we all could win is if everybody in the shop is the best barber. We're all sharing tips. We're all sharing our different techniques and what tools we're using, different things like that, and doing our best to make sure that we're all putting out that fire cut. So that way, when a customer comes in, or, it's a client, Mar, right? When they come in and whoever's chair they sit in, they're leaving happy. Whereas, if you used to go into to John and you come to Marv and, John ain't sharing nothing with Marv. So Marv's still putting out hack jobs. It makes the shop look bad. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like they're not going to come back to the shop a lot of times, right? Because then it gets awkward and all of that. So guys, share, man. Let's elevate our teams, bro.
Got to, y'all.
Squad around us.
Because what they're going to say is they're not going to say, man, John is what you call it, man. He be jacking you up. Now they're going to say they over there, the ultimate barber be jacking. Everybody's in that whole circle.
Right.
Everybody.
Facts. Question for you, John. Because in our industry, we're talking a lot about the price of
There we go.
haircuts.
There we go. Come on.
I think the public wants
Come
you
on.
to explain this because this is your price list that you had on your
Yeah.
site. Men's
Mhm.
clipper cut, $30. Clippers and scissors, 35. Scissor only, 40, right? And I want to say a couple things before you elaborate on this. Number one, for these prices for you are probably just so interesting to see because you've been around for 3 decades. So you've seen the prices go up, right?
Mhm.
You've been around where there was a time where even thinking about getting $30 for a cut was probably like,
It's a
it's like
lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas now we have barbers, probably a handful of them tapped in right now, and they're thinking, looking at that, is that you don't know your worth. And you're charging cheap prices, and you're the reason why the industry hasn't grown the way it could because you're still keeping your prices low, right?
Mhm.
So what is your thinking when it comes to how you price your haircuts, and what is some of your response to some of the ways of thinking from the newer age barbers these days that think the prices should be $75, $100 and more all around the
Exactly.
board?
So a lot of times guys don't even know why they're charging the price. All right. They're charging that price because they heard such and such is charging whatever price it is. Okay. Business, y'all. Business 101. I'm gonna go back to the restaurant. All right. A restaurant uh wants to know how much a table is making per hour. Okay. That's how restaurants calculate their numbers. Okay. So in the barber shop, you're supposed to know how much a chair is supposed to make per hour. Okay? It's not the price of the service, it's how much that chair can make in an hour. All right. You need to know that cost. That cost, what it does, it pays the expenses of the barbershop. All right. So you got to know this, y'all. Now, let's go ahead and break it down. I had a young lady that asked me how much were my prices. All right. So Marv, I say like $30. All right, let's say 30. So she said, "Oh, you cheap. You're a cheap barber." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, what do you do?" She said she was a nail tech. All right. I said, "Okay." So I said, "So how long does it take you to do a manicure pedicure?" She said, "A manicure and a pedicure, it takes me 90 minutes." I said, "Okay." I said, "What's your price for that?" She told me $75, I think it was. I said, "Okay." So it takes you $75 in 90 minutes, you make $75. I said, "All right." I said, "It takes me 15 minutes to cut a head." I said, "In 90 minutes, I can make, what's that, Marv? 6 times 30, 180. All right. I said, I can make $180 to your $75. I said, who's really cheap?" And she was like, "Oh." She was like, "Ooh." Okay. So you guys need, what you guys really need to know is how much that chair needs to make per hour. And this is more, I'm sorry, this is more for the shop owner.
Yeah,
All right,
for
more
sure.
for the shop owner there. All right, needs to know how much that chair is going to be able to make per hour there. That right there, then you'll be able to calculate what what your prices should be. All right, it's a cost analysis. You'll be fall in what your prices should be there. Now, my prices for me, if it was just me, they could be a little higher. All right, but I got some barbers that not as experienced, been cutting, a few years, not as long as I have, doesn't have the experience that I have. So I don't like to have a tier system where I got like a senior barber. I like the prices to be uniform because I want the client to be charged the same thing. Whoever chair they sit into, they're getting charged the same thing, unless I got a brand new apprentice in the shop that I'm training, and I just let them know, hey, he's an apprentice, he's training, so I can pay that apprentice. All right. We'll have it at a lesser rate. Let them know that, he's learning right now. Okay. So I'll do it on that aspect there. But other than that, I want my prices good all the way across the board. That whoever chair you sit in, it's fine. We're good with that. And I'm okay with that just because my clients, they tip so well.
So how, okay, so you're in agreement. What you want is everybody in the shop to basically have the same price. So how do you handle if you have a barber that wants to go up on prices?
So it does. They don't really look at the pricing per se. We might talk about it if that is going to be the standard there, y'all. But I don't have a booth rental shop, guys. I don't have a commission shop. I got a salary shop.
Mm.
So
Okay, can you talk about that a little bit? How does that work? Because we're always asking booth rent or commission. I'm about to open a shop, booth rent or commission, or I'm gonna work in a shop. Should I do booth rent or commission? Salary is very new to the barbering industry. So how
very
does
new.
that work?
So basically, guys, I got my guy. I can have a guy come in and cut one head. All right, and he's gonna make a salary like he cut 6, 7 heads. All right, and he could just cut one head. All right. And I just got that from just business in general, y'all. And we all go to work, when we all go to the job, man, you know, your time is valuable. All right. So I'm gonna pay you for your time. Okay. My shop is where it's I know that we're gonna have clients coming in, and when a barber can just start and he can be, I saw somebody in there said, man, first day you did 13 haircuts. I got a waiting clientele. All right. I got people waiting for just somebody to come in so they can go ahead and be able to get a service there. So I let guys know, hey man, you coming into the shop, we're gonna make some money. Okay. This way also, I wanted guys to see it as a career and not as a hustle. Okay. So I want you to, if you're going to go and work at my barbershop, but I wanted every barbershop to be like this, but I'm just gonna say mine right now. I want you to have that perspective of this is a career, because if you go somewhere else, if you're working at Northrop Grumman, AT&T, whatever like that, you're not looking at it just as a job. It's going to be a career. All right. And I want you to look in the barber industry the exact same thing as a career. I want guys stop looking at it as a hustle. Stop looking at it per haircut. All right. When the plumber comes to your home, he's not saying, oh, I got to fix the toilet. Okay, that's going to be $25. Nah, he's charging for that time. All right. If I got to do a toilet, it's going to 30 minutes, it might be an hour. He could be there 2 minutes. He's going to charge you for 30 minutes. Okay. I want the barbering industry to be the exact same way. I want you guys to see it that you're not charging for the haircut. You're charging for the time that person is sitting in your chair. That's what you're charging for. How much is a half hour worth at your barbershop? How much is an hour worth at your barbershop? How much is 15 minutes worth at your barbershop? Okay. So I think he's seen on there $30 for just a clipper cut. All right. Times that by 4. That's $120, y'all. For if I was that hour barber, if I was that hour barber, if the person sat in my chair for an hour of my time falls between $120 to $150. That's an hour of my time.
Do you feel barbering has become too individualized?
Yes. Yes, I do. It's always about me, as far as within the barbershop. When they're looking, I can get $100 for a cut. I can, I can charge $150. All right, this and that. And that right there, guys, is just not the mindset to have. And you'll see the difference when you turn from a barber to then a shop owner. All right. Once you go to the owner, your whole mindset just changes. All right. And then you look at it from another realm. I've been all the way through, y'all. All right. I've been booth rental. All right. I've been commission. And now I'm in the salary. All right. So I've seen it all. I was paying booth rent. Okay. I had the little chair. I had the little chair in the corner, 6x6, man, and doing 6 figures in the little chair. Okay. I decided to go ahead and open up a barber shop is because when I want to go ahead and pull away, I want clients to still be able to get service and still have it where, I got an income coming in too, where I'm not actually the one doing the service there. Okay. So there's 3 tiers of barbering. All right. The booth rental, that's the lowest nonprofit profit making formula that you can have there. Okay. You're more or less, I say booth rental would be good if you maybe own the building. If you're buying the building, you just got some people in there helping out with the mortgage on that, with the rental, with the mortgage on that. So you eventually 30 years down the line, or however 50, 20 years down the line, you'll own the building. All right. Now you got a retirement that when it's time to go ahead and tap out, you can sell and get your money or whatever the case may be. And then you're good. All right. Next is the commission structure there, but a lot of barbers don't know how to run the commission structure. So this is where they kind of fall into. That's why you start seeing them. They sometimes they got somebody in there on booth rent. They might got somebody on commission and this and that because they don't know how to run that properly. Guess what? I was one of those guys that didn't know how to do it properly. Okay. So when I opened up my first full service salon and spa, commission. All right. I've been doing appointments since 2005, y'all. All right. So I just want to throw that in there. I've been doing appointments since 2005 as a barber. So guys say I'm like one of the first ones that really, and I'm talking about every day. I'm not talking about just on the weekend, every day. So they say I'm like one of the first ones that kind of implemented that, put that into play. But so I had my shop, commission salon and spa, and I got people in there. So I'll see questions. I'll see people like, do you think 50-50 is unfair? All right, they're asking barbers this. Oh, no, the owner's robbed you. No, he robbed you, man. 50-50? Oh, yeah, he robbed you. Do you think 60-40? What about 60-40? That's still a little 70-30, 80-20. That's what they're saying, right? So, and I kind of fell into that a little bit. I'm like, okay, this person, they want a little more than 50-50 or whatever. I see what I can do. I'm going to see what I can work out and start throwing them a little more money. I'm bringing in, y'all. I'm thinking I'm making money. I'm good. I'm bringing in $45,000, $50,000 a month. I'm thinking I'm good, y'all. Straight. Trying to figure out why I'm coming up short every month. I'm a little short on the rent. Can't cover the rent. Can't get the supplies in the shop and this and that. My expenses are $55,000 to $60,000. All right. So I'm bringing in $45,000 to $50,000, and I'm spending out $55,000 to $60,000. We in the red, y'all. We in the negative. All right, just because it's commission structure, now I'm just throwing just numbers out there. Right. All right, just throwing it out there. Long story short, that didn't last long. All right. 5 years
How long
later,
did that last? How long did you do that for?
Hey, look, I struggled for 5 years. All right, I did not bring. Hey, who on here will cut for 5 years and won't make in this cool without making $1? All right, I cut for 5 years. The way y'all see me cut now, I cut for 5 years and could not bring home a dime. Okay, my wife had to start taking over the mortgage for the house. All right, she had to taking over the expenses because I was not being able to bring anything home because I'm trying to keep this shop open. Okay, trying to keep my people paid, and we in the negative. So long story short, I was $130,000 in debt and 6 months behind. Something had to go. Hey, so I stopped paying the rent at the shop. 6 months behind the rent. Okay, was able to make it through. Hey man, I had to borrow a little money from mom. Mom, can got about $8,000 I could borrow this month so I could pay this rent. Rent was $8,000, y'all. All right, $8,000 a month. So let's just say that right there was a big learning experience for me. All right, I learned a whole lot out of that. Now the barbers or the stylists, they were taking home their 50%. They good taking home. They'd be able to pay for stuff. All right, the 50 that I was getting. Paying the bills, paying the mortgage, paying inventory and stuff like that. So in that aspect, if you're clearing 10%, if the owner is clearing 10% after they done paid everything, they're doing good. That's good. But most shops, they're running between like 1% to 3%. All right, that they're clearing. And that right there now, he has that or she has that now to take care of her life outside of that. And that's just not enough money, y'all. So if y'all go right now, just Google barber hair salon for sale or something like that. You will see so many out there. People out there just, hey, man, trying to get rid of that headache. All right. They're going to the suites now. All right, hey, man, I'll take this little $350 I got to pay every week. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? Versus all this other stuff. I ain't got to deal with it.
How do you feel about the suites?
Hey, look, I own some suites. I had back in 2019, I built out my own suites, Ultimate Salon suites. I said, I'm gonna get them on both ends. All right, hey man, if the ones that are crying about the salary and this and that, hey shucks, I'll get them with the suite too. Man, that sweet
business owner mindset. I hope you guys are picking up. Yo, because I don't know how. I mean, you've been tuning into some of the conversations, and one of the comments that I caught a lot of flack for was I said that I think suites are terrible. I said something like, when are we going to tell beginner barbers that suites are a terrible idea for 95% of them type of thing,
Yes.
right? So I caught a lot of flack for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that people overlook when I speak or miss when I've said it is, the smart move would be to open your own suites. When you see, you got everybody trying to go to a suite, why not have a building where you can rent out some suites? And that's what you did, right? Like you're
Exactly.
like, all right, cool.
That's what I did, y'all.
They want to
Listen,
do it.
y'all.
I have the choice
Check
for them to
this
be
out.
able to do it.
$750,000 to build it out, y'all. All right, $750,000 to build it out. 16 got up to $18,000 a month in rent. Okay, all right, 37 suites, 37 suite concept there. All right, man, Mom, I thought I had a hair salon, man. These women in here bickering and arguing just like they were in a salon. I'm like, oh, where'd that come from? I mean, you're in your own suite. Why are you complaining about this woman down the hall, or this woman here, and this and that? I felt like a salon owner again. All right. Long story short, man, last year I had to get about that thing, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, somebody want to buy this, man? Hey, man, come get this thing ASAP. I got to get this headache up off me.
Yeah, I hear you. Bro, from the ownership side, man, let's talk about that a little bit, because you're spending some money, right? Like you're sharing things that people think are controversial or polarizing. Like, you're hopping in these nice cars, you're going in and you got a nice home, you're in a nice neighborhood, right? But in order to attain some of those things, you gotta show some numbers, right? So a lot of people on here right now are trying to show the least amount as possible, right? Because we don't like having to pay taxes and all of that ugly side of things. I see you looking for something. I don't know.
I was looking for my tax. I think about that. I was looking. Hey, I was about to show y'all two tax forms already. Go ahead.
So like what advice would you have for the people who are newer into this, right? Some of the things you may have wished that you knew when you first started out, so that they could be set on the right path to be able to right out the gate be making the best money moves and setting themselves up on paper, right? So that they can buy the building, they could buy the building to create the suites, or own their own barbershop, or buy a nice home, or buy some of these nice cars. What are some of the things that you would advise them to do?
Definitely pay your taxes, y'all. Pay your taxes. Stop trying to hold the cash. Credit goes much farther than cash, y'all. All right. You can grab 200, let's say $200,000 in credits, and you could take that much further than if you got $200,000 in cash. All right, I'm gonna give y'all an example here. I'm gonna give you an example. All right, let's say you got a loan, all right, credit for $40,000. Okay, so you go and buy a vehicle, car. You still got your $40,000 in cash. All right, so you're just paying installments on that loan there now. Okay, so you still got that 40 that you can use and you can put into something else. You can acquire something else. You can get something else. If you just had $40,000 cash and you go and pay for that car, $40,000 cash, how much cash you got left? Zero. Ain't nothing else you could do. All right. So this is why you see a lot of people right now. You want to get you a credit line. All right. Get you some credit and use that to your fullest, where you can leverage your purchases, your investments, and you can stretch it much further. But the only way you're going to be able to acquire that credit, man, you got to show some things on paper, y'all. All right, you got to show some documentation. So that's where your taxes come in at. So just make sure you pay your taxes, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, a lot of guys being where cash in hand, so used to being like that. So we love to hold on to it tight. We want to hold on to it and squeeze it and just look at it and say, man, that's a knot right there. It's a beautiful knot and this and that. But definitely that credit, y'all, is going to be able to take you further than that little knot.
Barbers, I heard they what did they say? How did they say? They said cash is king, but credit is what is credit is God or something. I forget how it goes, but like, because we love the cash is king quote, but the things you can do when you got your credit right and you can be approved for a nice credit line and loans and stuff like that, it is It's amazing what you could do, but we just don't know that stuff. You know, like a lot of us don't come from families or environments where we learned a lot of that stuff. I know I didn't. I'm learning a lot of this stuff later in my life, right? And I'm learning more and more every day, you know, having conversations like this, whether it be live or just, you know, through different people that I'm meeting in real life. I'm learning more and more every day, just like you guys tapping in are. So, you know, what I'm hoping, man, is that you guys really are listening to the gems that have been dropped, and you guys are taking it all in and meditating on it, right? And trying to really understand it so that way you can implement it. So that way you guys could be set off on the right path. You know, whether or not you want to do 5 haircuts a day, 10 haircuts a day, 15, 20, 30, you know, however you ultimately decide to operate as a barber, we just want to make sure that you're doing things the right way, right? Like Javier says here, you can't buy a house on 20K a year, right? And for me, I just bought my first home last year. So little, thank you, little over a year ago. And, you know, for a while, I was making enough money to be able to afford a house, but because I was doing things not in the most right way, you know, they weren't trying to give me that mortgage. Whereas now, you know, I put the first roof over my head, and now I'm still paying for some of the mistakes I made earlier on, and I'm trying to adjust, and I'm still trying to learn and take things to the next level. So that way, you know, I could be good too. So just know, guys, like Fade and Flow said, I'm soaking up the game just like all of y'all. This is what it's about, right? Barbers empowering barbers and helping barbers. And that's ultimately all I'm trying to do. Here it is. Yeah, cash is king, credit is power. I think that's something.
Hey, Marv, how does it feel coming home to your own spot that you paying for? How does it
Bro,
feel?
I want to be here all the time.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm feeling I'll come back on my traveling, and you know, I just be like coming home and mowing my lawn and sitting on my deck, swimming my pool a lot this summer, you know, and it's a different feeling. And you know, because you've been a homeowner for a while now, it's a different feeling, man. And I can't even put it into words. You know, it's just once you get it, you're like, all right, cool. And now I know, like, all right, I'm just gonna keep flipping my way on up until I'm walking into something like you walking into, because I see your ceilings is really high, bro.
Hey, Marv said that's mine, y'all. Hey, I love it. I love the way my lawn. Hey, my house. I love the way you say that there. Strong.
That's
hey, back to the prices real quick, y'all. Right. I wanted to point this out real quick. So you guys talking about like $100 haircuts. I'll be seeing this all the time. All right. What comes with a $100 haircut? They say a $90 service. I'm pampering the client. All right. I'm giving them this. I'm giving them that, such and such. All right. I'm gonna go back to I love the restaurant, y'all. I love the restaurant. I'm gonna take y'all back to the restaurant. Let's say you're going to a restaurant now. And let's say it's Long John Silver again. Let's say they got a $300 steak in there. All right, $300 steak. It's gonna take 2 hours for them to cook it. All right, 2 hours to cook it. They season it. They doing whatever the case may be. So you got to sit there the whole time waiting for it. All right, you hungry as a mother. You waiting 2 hours to get your food. Then it comes. All right, they say they do this and do that with you. So you done paid $300 and some dollars for maybe about about 3.5 hour, 3.5 hour visit to the restaurant. You hungry? You sitting there too? Like, oh man, I want that there. All right. Versus, you go to your other spot, pay, $30, $35, $40 for the steak, 30, 45 minutes, it come right over 15 minutes, come out, boom, you're eating, you're good. 45 minutes, y'all gone. All right. Which one would you rather go to, y'all? All right. You're going to pay the $300 for that steak that they said, man, but no, we're cooking this, man. We're seasoning. We're going to pamper it. We're going to pad it a little bit.
Details. This is the details.
2 hours. Hey, just take your time. Don't worry about it. I'm taking care of you. I'm gonna take care of you. Which one y'all want, y'all? I mean, put it in the comments. What y'all want? Talk to me. Which one you want?
I'll tell you what, John. I went to this restaurant. I did an event, and I went to this restaurant with the people. They took me out to this nice, fancy restaurant, right? And we went in. It was all eloquent and stuff, and all nice. And they came up. It was like they were carrying themselves like luxurious, right? So then they hand you the menu, and the prices are all high and stuff. So you feel all like you're a boss, right? And bro, like, the food just took so long to come out. The ordering process was like so extra. And for me, I was like, I don't know if it's just the way I was raised in my environment where this is just like not me, but I would never want to pay these prices for this this service again. Like, I don't care how fancy you make it sound and all of that. I'm like, bro, no, I'm all set. So, I hear you, man. I hear you. That's what I find is so interesting with barbers that want to say, hey, you're going to pay $100 a cut, but I'm going to hold you hostage for an hour and a half in my chair. You're going to wait 20 minutes, while I'm pampering my other client. And then you're going to have to drive, 20 minutes home for, this exceptional service where it's like, okay, bro, what are you really doing? You're giving them a pretty good haircut. Cool. All right. You giving them a wash. Okay. What are you doing that's so extraordinary that they're going to want to pay 3 times what they could pay somebody else to do the same exact thing with probably, and a lot of times, better customer service, more professionalism, it's a weird, we're in weird times, bro.
Exactly. No, you're right. Hey, I do want to give out, I see my man on here, Walt Cuts the Barber. All right. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not. He was from Africa. All right. This is my little guy right here. And I followed him. I kind of got hip to him, the post that he's do. He do a lot of free haircuts back in his native country. And he was doing a lot. He go to orphanages and cutting the hair and stuff like that. So we jumped on Facebook. We jumped on the live one day, and he said the haircuts over there is like $2. It was $2, $2.25, something like that, right? So this man was probably making, I don't know, Walt, how much were you making like a month or something? Probably not much, y'all. All right, not much whatsoever. So he got a visa. So he asked me, a little mentorship, help him out a little bit and things like that. So I gave him a book to read. He jumped right on it, trying to get his mindset right, y'all. All right. So gave him a book to read, got that straight. Long story short, he's on a visa now in Dubai. All right. He got there in March. His first month, he did AED, like a little over like $2,300 AED. Okay, that was in March. He sent me his numbers. I gave him, a couple pointers, little techniques to do it, this and that. He sent me his numbers just ending in September, y'all. 8,500 AED, y'all. All right. He said this month, October, he's sure to do 10,000 AED. So I just wanted to give him some love. For one, just the love he has for the barber. And two, being bold enough just to ask for some guidance, some mentorship there. And I said, man, you know what? For you and for what you've done and all the free work that you've done, I said, man, I'll do it for you for free. All right. So I just want to drop some gems on him. I did that. And he's living his best life right now over in Dubai. And man, he's just making some things happen. So I just want to give him some love on here, y'all.
Barbers, we need you to drop some fire emojis in the chat, some hearts in the chat to show some love to him. And then drop some gems in the chat if you guys are enjoying this conversation. Flood the chat. Let's go spam the chat. You know what I'm saying? Let us know. I got to ask you, I did a conversation with Andy Authentic, my homie, a little bit ago. It wasn't too long ago. And we went back and forth a little bit on this question. So I want to know your thoughts. He goes, I don't know, man. I still think it's easier to find a $75 45-minute client than a $30 15-minute client. And then Gabe piggybacks off that. It says, is it easier to find a $30 to $40 client or a $75 to $100 client? What's your thoughts on that?
Man, it's going to be the $30 to $40 client. Yeah,
can you try? Because that's what I said, bro. For me, I don't know why I do the question, but I got to ask it because Andy's my guy and then Gabe wants to know. I just don't understand how, if we're walking out in a big space where there's a whole bunch of people, I don't understand why we think it's going to be easier to find somebody that wants to pay more money for more time in a chair than for somebody that wants to pay less money to get in and out quicker. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on that?
So, hey, look, I'm going to share with you after this, and you might be able to share it. Grant Cardone, all right, Grant Cardone has a video. He was like, man, I will pay you more for less time. He said, my time is very valuable. I will pay you. Hey, I'll pay you $100 for 15 minutes.
Andy said 15 minutes. No.
He said, I will pay you more. He said, I don't want all that. I don't want it. He said, man, I'm just coming to get a haircut. That's it, man. I don't want all this. I don't want all that or whatever. I want to get in and get out. Time is very valuable. And I get a lot of people, y'all, to be honest with you, because it sounds like you guys, you don't get a lot of lunchtime clients. All right. You can't get that guy coming from the going to sneak in from the office real quick, get a cut and get back. All right. He's not going to be able to do it. All right. He coming during his lunchtime. He going to miss his whole lunch. Can't even eat. All right. I get a lot of people that come in for their lunchtime because they know they're getting in their chair at that time, 12:30, 12:45, they out. They're able to stop off, get their food, and be back in the office and have lunch, have their haircut out the way so they can just go straight home.
Mm-hmm. And I think part of it is because it's like this, right? So Caesar says, wait, so cuts that are efficient and fast, clients are happier with that than full 30, 40-minute cuts, newer barber here. And here's what I'll say, and I'll let you share some of your thoughts on it too. I'm going to create a post about this like next week, but I think I shared it on my story today. I just feel like barbers have lost touch with the market, bro. Like we've lost touch with what our customers want. And I think that has happened because more so social media more than anything, because what social media has done has created like this echo chamber and this vortex that so many barbers are wrapped up in. So we're listening to what other barbers are saying they want, right? Like a barber will say, I'd never sit in the chair for 15 minutes. I'd never sit in the chair for 30 minutes, right? We're listening to what barbers will say, exactly. Right? And we're not listening to what clients actually want and what clients actually value. So one of my hopes is, with me doing a lot of what I'm doing, is that barbers would take a step back and start to think like, okay, if I wasn't a barber, or maybe I should try to get some feedback from people who aren't barbers and see what it is that they want, right? And what I've come to learn, and what you guys will come to learn as well if you pay enough attention, is for the most part, a haircut, number one, could be an inconvenience for people because they got so many things going on in their life. They got so many responsibilities and things they got to get to. They don't want to be in the shop all day, right? Are there people that don't mind and got the time and love to be in there? Sure. But most people, it's an inconvenience for them. And most people will pay you more if you can get them in and out quicker while maintaining that same quality that they want to get. I always tell people the reason why I can get paid, I get tipped very well and make, get $100 to do a cut in 15, 20 minutes and stuff like that, is because I can give people a high quality cut that normally would take other barbers 45 minutes to an hour. I can get it done in 30 minutes or less. So that automatically puts me in a position to where people will be willing to pay more because they can get the results they're looking for in a faster time. So, the thinking of, do clients prefer to be in the chair longer or less? Bro, just ask most regular people. Ask regular people, say, with all things being equal, would you rather be in the barber chair less or longer? Right? Like, get some feedback and come from the position that you're not a barber. Ask random people. Don't even say you're a barber, right? Just ask people. And you'll see that so many people will pay a higher price if you can get them in and out quicker, as opposed to holding them hostage.
So not everybody, y'all, not everybody think, majority of people do, but not everybody thinks that way. So I'm gonna tell y'all, I do have I had a guy 2 weeks ago. All right, 2 weeks ago, he has the braids or whatever, just a little temper taper, y'all, taper the neck, little shape up, just clean up the mustache. Okay, 15 minutes, we good. All right. He paid for it, and then he called back. He said, John, I don't feel that you spent enough time on me, with my cut. All right. I said, so I said, what's going on? Talk to me. I showed you the mirror. You said everything was cool. Talk to me. He said, I just felt that, you kind of rushed me a little bit there. My hairline, just wanted you to, hit that a little tighter there. As far as the mustache, wanted you to, kind of knock it down a little bit and hit it. I said, I said, man, I said, your satisfaction is my satisfaction. I want you walking out just as happy as you want to be. All right. I showed you the mirror. You said everything was cool. If we had a problem, I said, we could have went ahead and, just took care of it. All right. He said, I see your schedule's kind of busy. I can't get back in today. I said, I want you to be the happiest client as you can be. He said, I'm going to schedule again. I'll schedule again. And, we'll go ahead and get this taken care of. I said, man, not a problem, whatever. All right.
You hear this customer service, right? I hope you guys are listening to this professionalism in customer service. I hope you guys are listening.
So he comes back the following week, scheduled. All right, paying again or whatever, scheduled again. I made sure this time that he wanted the attention that he wanted. All right. So when he walks in, first thing I greet him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's up, baby? How you doing? What's going on? Hey, man, we're gonna knock this out today. Hey, you leaving out here today, you're gonna be nothing but smiles. All right,
positive energy, good vibes, very welcoming, very inviting.
It's not that. Oh God, man, get in the chair, man. Nah, none of that. Sat down, went ahead, we paid a little attention to detail, y'all. He wanted the time there because most barbers take about that time. So he wanted me to take that time too. So we got it right, boom, boom, boom. Man leaves out, big old tip, just smiling, happy as he could be. Hey, man, have an amazing day today. All right. So sometimes you're going to have clients that just want to be in your chair longer just because they're just so used to barbers taking a while, or they just want to. They're not trying to get back home. They want to talk. They want to do this and do that. All right. Yep. So I've had clients like that. We've done that. Kids say everything. One guy came in, brand new. I hit him because it wasn't much. Man, knocked him out. Boom, boom. He looks in the mirror. And he's trying to find something to complain about. He said, ain't no way in the world you finished my hair that fast. But he could not find. He's like, nah, you got that. You got that. He's like, man, he's like, you done though? I was like, yeah, we good. He's like, So, we paid him. His son, he started bringing his son. I was cutting his son hair. So he stopped coming and his son was still, the mother was bringing the son. And the son said, my dad said you cut his hair too fast. You cut his hair too fast. Oh man, I had to laugh so much. His wife was like, shh. But yeah, it was just funny, man, because Pops he just wanted to sit in the chair. He wanted to sit in the chair and just get a little extra. Go ahead, Mom.
Yeah. No, I hear you, bro. It's one of those, it's every, people are different, right? Some people value different things and want different things, so when we're talking about the, the quicker cuts and stuff like that, again, there are always the people that don't feel that way, right? But like I always say in my content, I do my best to speak to the majority, right? I do my best to speak to the majority. So even with that example, guys, he said that happened, and it has happened a handful of times over 30 years, but it ain't happening like that. Most of the time he's getting people in and out and they're coming back, right? Like there's not often he's getting called and people are like, yo, you didn't take enough time on my hair. So there is that percentage of people, but again, to me, I don't know, it's a smaller percentage. And for me, I'm like, all right, let's cater to the biggest pool of people. And I feel like the biggest pool of people don't want to be sitting in the chair forever. Ed says my $100 clients would want to be in the chair for a while, which there is that client, right? I also have the $100 clients that hit me up, Marv, I need to get to that, like, booked. You got anything? I got a 20 minute window. You got to be here. And then come in to get in and out 15 minutes, and give me that 100. So, I don't know. I guess it's just preference for me. I like to be able to get paid $100 for 15, 20 minutes as opposed to, an hour and a half. But again, it's all preference. But like Ed said, you got to know the client's wants and needs. I need your thoughts on something, right? Because this person said, I would like to hear from a barber from the hood so I can relate. And then somebody replied and said, shake my head. It's how you know these guys are not from the hood. Shake my head. So, what would you say to the barber that may be tapped in that is cutting in the hood right now and is dealing with some of the things that come with being in the hood? What would your advice be to them?
So that's where I started at, man. All right. That's where I started at. So my fear back then, when I was younger, in my late teens and 20s, I wouldn't have my clientele because either somebody was getting locked up or they was getting shot. All right. So that was my fear with them on that aspect. So I got a little video, but you guys probably see when I was younger, when I was cutting. This is when that's when I was cutting into Timbs and all that stuff there.
That I would have throbbing in them Timbs, bro.
Yeah, hey, throbbing. I would have 12 to 15 guys waiting. All right, waiting to get the cut. When I used to pull up to the barbershop, guys outside sitting. All right, the shop don't open until and it's like on Sunday at 9 o'clock, and these guys out there 8:15 lined up just waiting. All right, to get the cut there. Now, needless to say, during that time, this was a while ago now, guys. So the cut was like $10. All right, so but they were lined up and just trying to get in, just get that cut, man. Once they mess with you, the guys with you, they're gonna they're gonna rock with you. All right, and I was the only barber in the barbershop at that time. The guy that I was cutting with ended up having a little substance abuse problem, and then got into a little bit of trouble. So he had to relocate. All right. So he wasn't going to get incarcerated. All right. So he had to relocate, and his clients kind of fell over to me too. And that's really where I kind of got my start. His clients falling over to me, and then the guys from the hood that I had too as well. So that's when things just started to grow. And I had to have that time down right, because a lot of guys, you know, they was like, hey man, you know, coming in, who's next, and I don't like that now. That's why I love the appointments, because that one right there almost burned me up now. Marv, when guys come in, how many you got? All right, we should patent that one right there. How many you got, and who's next? You know, those two right there for sure. We should patent that. But yeah, I don't came from the hood, and I think Marv same way.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I'm not like, my hood is not a real. I wouldn't say it's a real hood, right? It's the hood for where the city is in, but it ain't. You know, when I was younger, I was in the real hood, but my parents moved up out of there, got me in a smaller city in, you know, the area. I would say it's definitely a low income area. Put it this way: when I first started cutting, the cuts were $15, and people were complaining about it. So, you know what I mean? But you know, we worked our way up. We built up. We end up moving the shop and stuff like that, and you know, just continuing to do our best to elevate the business and, you know, provide better service, better haircuts, and just, you know, I don't know. But I started $15 haircuts people were complaining about.
Exactly. Hey, look, I made a post on 9/11, and I just asked people. I said, "Where were you at on 9/11?" And one of my guys I went to college with, he comes in. He said, "Man, why half the people on your post said they were locked up?"
No,
man, that's where I started at, man.
That's wild. That's wild. So, guys, what I want to do, because John's got about another 10 minutes or so, right? We're gonna do this for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. So John got another 10 minutes or so. So what I want to do real quick, guys, is fire questions. All right, in the chat, whatever question you have. Maybe you feel like it's something you wanted to hear John answer that he hasn't, or, you know, just something that maybe you're thinking now that you want to ask him. What I want to do real quick, is do that, fire the questions. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. When we're all said and done, make sure you follow the Barber Mogul on Instagram. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you take a screenshot of this. And whether it's now or maybe after, share it to your story. If you're watching on TV, take a picture with your phone, share it to your story, and make sure you tag me and the Barber Mogul in it, so that way we can reshare it to our story and show you guys some love. All right, so that's the housekeeping out the way. Fire your questions. And John, what I want you to do, if possible, because I know like how we could be, our answers could be long. So I want to try to answer as many of these questions as we can. So if you could do as a rapid fire in the questions, do rapid fire answers, if that's cool. Okay, so
and
let's
I did see somebody asked Marv, do I have lunch? Yes, I got 12:30. I'll take a 30-minute lunch.
Okay.
Right. Yes, there we go right there. Yep, I'll take a 30-minute lunch, y'all. All right. Somebody said, do I do reoccurring appointments? Yes. Majority of my appointments are reoccurring because guys cannot get in on the schedule on the book. So I advise them to make a reoccurring appointment so they don't have to worry about that. This is how I'm booked every day, y'all. Monday, I'm in the shop Monday through Saturday. I'm off on Sundays, and I'm booked every day.
Gotcha. Do you take 20, 30 minutes with new people? Sometimes I feel like those ones are a little harder depending on our head shape and hair texture.
I'm 37 years in. There's not a hair type. There's not a head that I have not seen.
What if they're late? What do you do with somebody that's late for their appointment?
I'll switch them out, because a lot of times my guys, man, so you got to train your clients. All right. You got to know how to train them. A lot of my people, they come early. Okay. So I'll just switch them around. All right. If they do come late, once again, all right, I done knocked out the person in 15 minutes. I'll go ahead and knock out the late person, get them out the way, and I'm still on time for the next one.
How important is it to build relationships with clients?
Very important. All right. Because that's your number one marketing tool right there. All right. I don't care what else y'all do right there. That word of mouth is strong. All right. You got a strong relationship with your client. That client is going to refer people to you. All right. I'm gonna piggyback on top of that, branding. All right. You want to be branded too as well. So branding at the point that when a person asks, hey man, where can I get a haircut at? You're the first one they think about because you're branded in their mind.
Question. So some devil's advocate. What would you say to the people that say, well, bro, you're doing 15-minute haircuts. How are you building a relationship with people who are sitting in your chair for 15 minutes? You're getting them in and out.
Oh, I mean, that right there, as far as that, hey, 15 minutes is the 15 minutes that, hey, that we're going to have together. All right. So, hey, that right there, that's all we need. All right. 2 questions you got to ask. All right. You know, what's your name? All right. If you don't have the name, what's the name? Are you from the area? How long have you been here? And what do you do? That's 3 questions. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to ask. Relationships built. People love talking about themselves.
Yep. And do your best to listen to what they're saying and reiterate that you understand what they're saying. So the way you do that is by paraphrasing what they said to you. It's a little communication hack. So if they say, you know, yeah, I've been working in construction for 10 years now. Oh, so you've been doing construction for 10 years? Yeah, man. So, and then they'll start going more. So you can have good conversation just by paraphrasing what they said back to you. And you can have a quality conversation in 15 minutes. You can. And me and Andy went back and forth with that a little bit, but you can have a quality conversation in 15 minutes. But also just understand you don't have to be the 15-minute barber either. Let's remember, guys, John is showing you what's possible. All right. He's been cutting hair for 3 decades. He's had some trips. He's spun the chair a time or 2. Right. So this is over a period of time where he's got an opportunity to have a lot of experience under his belt. So, you know, if you're 30 minutes, you know, 40 minutes, wherever you're at, the same stuff that he's sharing with you can be applied in a lot of ways. And speaking of Andy, he wants to know, what's your average employee turnover?
Oh, man, shucks. So COVID kind of helped me out, y'all. COVID helped me out where I got a lot of riffraff out of the barbershop there. Once I get them in, my younger ones, I'm going to say about 2 years. About 2 years. And then they're, if they're not like committed, they kind of find their way like out of the barbershop there. So what's that, 24 months? Kind of hold tight. I got one guy who's been with me for 7 years. He's solid. Man, 2 houses. He done bought numerous cars while he's been with me there. So he's loving it. All right.
So how do you find barbers?
Huh?
How do you find barbers?
They find me. They hear about me. So they come to the shop there. Somebody's always referring. I'm real I'm gonna say guarded with the culture that I have in my barbershop. So I'm slow in hiring. I'm really, really slow because it takes a lot of energy for me to get that person built up the way I want them to. And a lot of the barbers that I see that be coming in, they look like they're just not going to be able to adapt. I had one guy tell me that I'm too structured, got too much structure.
Yo, yeah. People just want it to be a free for all. And it's like, man, you like freedom. Like in order to be free, you got to be disciplined and have structure. It's weird when you try to wrap your mind around it. But what's going to create the ultimate freedom is if you have some structure in your life. You can't just be a damn free for all. Do you do a mentorship program, or how can they gain access to some sort of mentorship with you?
I do. So what I want y'all to do, guys, is either jump in Marv's DM or my DM, and I'll point y'all in the right direction here. I got a little
guys, screenshot this so when you get off, you can message him.
Yes.
Screenshot this so you can make sure you follow him and then message him when we get off.
I got an academy called Barberpreneur Academy. All right, barberpreneuracademy.com there, guys. And that right there is where you'll get your start of your your training, your mentorship with me. And then we can kind of, if things go in the right direction, we can do a one-on-one and really make it happen.
Got you. When hiring, is it character or skills?
Character. I mean, all day. I can teach the skills. I can't teach character. I can teach the skills all day. I can teach anybody how to cut, but I cannot teach character.
Ed said, "Oh, I gotta rewatch this. That's a fact." And the reason why is because, like 24K Eric said, they find me speaking like a boss, and it's true, right? Because shop owners will, we can complain a lot about, there ain't no good workers, we can't find good barbers, and all of this stuff. When truthfully, most of the time, we just got to look in the mirror and take some accountability and ask ourselves, what is it that we're doing wrong? What is it that we're doing wrong? And a lot of times it just boils down to, we got to be better leaders. We got to be better business owners. We got to be better shop owners. We just got to be better overall humans and work our best to build the business in a way that attracts people to us. like you said, they come looking for me. Why? Because how long you been open now?
Myself, it's been 7 years at this location here.
Yeah, 7 years, and it clearly has built up a good reputation in the 7 years. Clearly is known in the area. So now when people are thinking about, all right, where can I go work where I know I'm gonna get some haircuts in, they know that at the Ultimate Barber, they're gonna be able to go there and be able to cut some hair. So do your best. If you're a shop owner or you're an aspiring shop owner, just do your best to build the thing that's gonna attract the people to you. You don't sell any products?
They said, let me see. You don't? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do have to sell the products there. And also, I now really got into it as far as my online store. So I drive more online traffic than within the shop because I want to reach a broader audience there, y'all. So definitely, I got my own product line. When I opened up the barbershop, I did a product line too as well. Somebody asked about it, opening a barber college, the move to retire. Man, barber college is like 2 to 3 times more work than a barbershop. So, man, if you don't want to put the work into a barbershop, you definitely don't want to do the barber college.
Yeah, I'm watching my homie Will Stam right now. He's opening his college, and I love seeing his growth, and it's inspiring to watch it. Him building it, and I'm with him through this whole process of it, and it's dope to see. But I'm also seeing how much work it is, and how much that entails into it, and Will's built different, so it's beautiful to see. But it's definitely not something where if you guys tuning in, you're thinking you're just gonna be opening doors and all of a sudden you're making $20K a student. It just don't work that way.
Hey, I got a gym for y'all. I got a gym for y'all. All right. So my hiring process too. I kind of look at the military. So if I got a barber, telling me that he's been cutting for 15, 20 years, that's a red flag for me, for one. Two, and y'all gonna say, why is a red flag? The reason why it's a red flag is because he's gonna be kind of hard to mold. All right, because he's got in his mind a certain way how it's supposed to be done. Two, if that person is over, I'm gonna say the age of 34, 35, I'm kind of real, and I got to the point now that I'm not really interested in hiring them. It's the same reason what's the cutoff in the military? What's the cutoff in the police academy? All right. There's a certain cutoff in the military after you're 32, 34, something like that. They're not taking you no more because they cannot get all that cement that's in your brain right now. They can't remold that. They say it's not happening. That's the same thing.
It's like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty much saying that there. And every person I have hired that has had a lot of experience or came in there ended up, it just didn't work out because they had in their mind that it's supposed to be a certain way because they're so used to working a certain way for their whole career, and just making that switch, it was uncomfortable for them.
Do you read any books? Have you read books?
Man, I got a whole library right here. Yes.
What are some the best books you've read on leadership, communication, finance, whatever you want to drop? And guys, pay attention. Whatever book he says, guys, type it in the chat so that you guys can see it.
I'm about to give you one right now. I'm about to give you one, and you guys, as far as me talking about, let me see if I see it real quick. But I'm gonna say Dan Kennedy's "No BS in Time Management," y'all. It's over here somewhere.
Dan Kennedy's "No BS in Time Management."
Dan Kennedy, "No BS in Time Management," and it says for entrepreneurs.
I love it. Any other books that you could think of off the top of your head?
Oh, I mean, the richest man in Babylon. All right, you got that. The Millionaire Fast Lane.
Mm-hmm.
That one right there.
MJ DeMarco, fire book, bro.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have so I got audio books, y'all. I got about 200 books on here. So now I'm committed. I read one book a week, y'all. So I'm at least. So I read at least 4 books a month. Committing to that, and that's what we're knocking that out there. So that's what I do. It's all about personal development.
Yeah, I love it. And guys, another tip for when it comes to consuming books and stuff like that, I've shared this a few times. I continue to share it, is when he's telling you these books, buy the book in every form, right? Like for me, I buy more so. I don't do physical books. I love being able to read when I want, so I love having it on my phone. But I buy the book on my phone, and I buy the audio book. So that way, when I'm in the car driving to work, to and from work, or just in the car alone by myself, wherever I'm going, I throw on an audio book, right? So you guys can use the 20 minutes that you're driving to work every day or wherever you're going, where you're by yourself, to educate yourself. You can listen to Dan Kennedy's No BS or The Millionaire Fast Lane, right? Or Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon. You can listen to these books as you're in your car, rather than listening to some of the other nonsense that we like to listen to just to put something on, right? You can learn a lot just being in your car from the audiobooks.
I see dress code. Dress code. Yes, yes, yes. My biggest pet peeve is walking into the barber shop and not knowing who's the barber and who's the client. All right. So yes. All right. Yes, we do have a dress code. Something you got to say ultimate barber on it, so the people know that you are the barber and you're not a client that's waiting in there.
I love it. And just to piggyback off that a little bit, you know, we are too individualized as a culture, man. We are, and it's unfortunate, but you know, just the idea of having a dress code will turn so many people away, and it's wild to me because it's like, what happened to us being a team? You know what I'm saying? Like the Golden State Warriors walk out and they all got their jerseys on, they go out and win the championship. Why can't we be a team? You know, why do we all gotta just ain't nobody telling me what to wear? I didn't become a barber, so I gotta wear what they telling me what to wear. It's like, bro, come on, man. That's for one. And then for two, as a shop owner, just understand by implementing some of this stuff that John is sharing, you're gonna weed out some of the bad apples, right? Because the person that don't want to wear the uniform and stuff like that is clearly demonstrating they ain't trying to be a team player. So it's a beautiful thing. You don't even gotta put up with the headache. They just eliminate themselves right away. Like, oh, nah, I ain't doing that. So you don't even got to deal with it. Whereas somebody else that's open to that type of thinking and stuff, you know, is more of a team player, which can ultimately lead to everybody, you know, building and growing together. You know what I'm saying? He said, this is the new age stuff.
I see. How do you balance family and work in the beginning? Hey man, you got to sacrifice a little something there. All right. So my wife has sacrificed a lot of weekends for me just because me having to be in the barbershop. So I heard Marv say the same thing about his wife. All right. Chris Boxhill, when he was on here, same thing about his wife there. In the beginning, y'all, man, it's almost where you have to be a little selfish, and you're trying to build, you're trying to grow. So they have to, and you know, a lot of times they know what they're getting into. All right. But I am going to say this industry right here, y'all, has a high divorce rate. Okay. Just want to throw that in there for y'all.
So you got to make sure that it's the balance will shift depending on what period of life that you're in. Right. But you just got to make sure that you are stepping back and you're asking yourself what matters. What seeds do I need to water? And make sure you're watering them seeds and work on yourself, guys. Work on yourself. Work to be better communicators and better people. And like you said, it all starts with personal development. And once you start there, things start to fall in place because, you know, if you're all in on the barbershop and you got a husband or a wife and you don't know how to communicate with them, you know what I mean? You're not really being the right type of partner for them. Like you said, the industry has a high divorce rate. So, you know, work on yourself, work to be the best version of yourself, a better communicator, and just make sure you're putting your time in the places where you're going to see the highest return on you investing your time. Is there something else you want to answer?
They're talking about family on here. They're mainly talking about family. I'm seeing a lot. How can you go a bit deeper on family? So, man, so I've been married, y'all, for 21 years. All right. So, me and my wife now, we got to understand, hey, she's doing her thing as far as she's real estate now, guys. So she's actually in here working now. I'm in her office. I done kicked her out so I could do this live here. But y'all can see her right there on the magazine.
Shout outs to wife.
But yeah, so weekends, I just love it. You know, we get daytime. One day a week is cool. All right. So I'm off on Sundays. All right, we're off on Sundays, and that's when we do we're going to catch a movie, dinner. We're actually traveling. I'm traveling Thursday. All right. So I'm out Thursday through Sunday. I'll be in Dallas. Got some business down there I got to take care of. And my wife and my daughter's going with me, so I'm not going by myself. All right, taking the family with me on that.
It's fire. Do you do contracts with your barbers?
No contracts. No. Like I said, I don't. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, I do. So, far as if I have there, we have a contract that I do have them to sign as far as dress code, the business of the shop. All right, rules to abide by, things that they have to do there.
Like the standard. Yes, I do have the expectations.
Yes, exactly, for sure. And then also, guys. So I'm gonna tell y'all this. The way my shop is set up, when I lose a barber, all right, if a barber leaves, my shop makes more money.
Well,
What
I
y'all
mean,
think about
being salary, that makes sense, right? Yeah,
that? I
it
can
makes
control.
sense.
So, and what Marv just said, yeah, you're able to control your bottom line there. So when you got the salary, and when that salary for the employee kind of drops, but my revenue stays the same. Now my profit margin has just increased. Okay, you cannot do that with a booth rental shop because it's just a chair. All right, you got the chair, and that's it. All right, if a barber leaves, you're actually going to lose some money on that. You're trying to look for somebody else to replace that, so you have that income come in. Same thing with commission shop. As the revenue goes up, the salary goes up too. So now sometimes it gets a little thinner. All right, so those ones there, I was taught that you want to be able to control your numbers there. And those first two, it's hard to control your numbers, y'all. But on the salary one, you're able to control your numbers.
I love it. So, says, can you explain the salary model more? What I would say to you is, guys, any one of you that are interested, because John says he does offer mentorship. So screenshot this because we can't keep him all night. My man got to get some rest, and I got to get some rest too. So screenshot this and make sure you follow him on Instagram and shoot him a message and say, hey, I was on the live. I'm interested in mentorship. And then y'all can follow up in that way. So that way he can give you more in-depth and answers and especially more specific answers for your situation.
Yeah.
So, John, I don't want to hold you up all night, bro, because we'll keep going. Like
No, right.
questions
They
will keep
ready now.
coming. You know what I'm saying? So, what I want to say is thank you for taking 2 hours and 10 minutes. And as you can see, Barbershop Love, my homie Ramos said, appreciate y'all. Love what y'all doing. I want to say thank you for everybody tapped in. I know they got a lot of value. I got a lot of value. Barbers, if you got a lot of value, flood the chat with the gems so that John can see the gems come in. Knowing that he did his best to give as much as he could. I know he did. So thank you for that. Is there any last thing that you want to say to the people before we wrap this up to inspire them, empower them, motivate them, help them in
Yeah,
any way?
for sure, for sure. First, I just love what Marv is doing here, guys. All right. I love what I'm seeing here as far as just the interaction on the in the comments, y'all. All right, and the turnout too. I just love just seeing that the barber industry can be a better place with us just coming together, working together versus being divisive. So I just love seeing this here, guys. Hopefully, the numbers that you were able to see that inspired you. I know it's going to be a couple of people on here. You guys are going to end up, increasing your income just by just seeing that and just knowing that it's possible. I had to see it. I had to go seek it out and see it to see that it was possible. Then I was able to achieve it, and I think you guys are going to be able to do the same. So there's a saying that I learned. Conceive it in your believe it in your mind, conceive it in your heart, and you'll achieve it. I think you're going to go ahead and make that happen there, guys. All right. So appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I love everybody on here. I love this industry, y'all. I love the barber now. What I do as far as helping barbers, clients, assistant clients. That's my biggest my biggest love there. All right. My biggest satisfaction. I tell people I never sold a haircut ever. Never sold a haircut. But I just get rewarded for the services that I'm able to provide to the clients, and with that, they give me monetary awards for that there. So just being able to have somebody when they get up out that chair and that smile that they have on their face after that haircut, how a person comes in and then it just makes them feel different after that haircut. That right there, that's the joy. That's what gets me up in the morning. That's what has me in there working the way I work right now. Just because of that, because it's all about the clients, y'all. So love y'all, appreciate y'all. Marv, man, I appreciate you, bro. Love you for what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You are making a huge difference. You are touching a lot of lives. You're touching a lot of barbers out here, and you're actually you're growing, bro. All right, you are growing. Man, you're gonna be on that big stage, and I'm gonna be proud to say that I was able to sit in on a live with you, man. And hopefully, shucks, man, this ain't our last one that we do. and that we can do some things together too, man. We got two
Just
minds
say
better
two
than one.
minds
See if we
one.
can make some money, baby.
Yeah, let's get it. First, guys, let us know if you want to see more of John on Gem Talk. Let us know. Drop some fire emojis if you want to see more of John, because we're definitely going to have more conversations for sure. Guys, take a screenshot if you haven't already. Take a picture if you're watching on your TV. Share it to your story. Tag me and John in it, so that way when we get off this live, we can show you guys some love. We thank you for tuning in. We thank you guys for engaging. You guys asked some really good questions. It was fun. I had a lot of fun too. And again, man, John, thank you so much. You
appreciate
you snapped for them, and they want more. They said this is the best one, and then they want more. The fire's coming in. So if there's any part of you that think like, you know what, maybe I didn't give them enough, that's just the the critic in you, just like it is in me, because I always feel that way too. But that's what's what's cool about that is we get to do more of these conversations. So barbers, if you're tapped in late and you didn't get a chance to watch this whole thing, I will be sharing it to the page so you guys can go back and rewatch it. Even if you did tune in the whole time, what I will say is make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and go back and rewatch this, because I'm sure there's going to be some gems that you guys missed while you were tapped in. So go back and rewatch it. It's definitely worth the rewatch. John, stay on. I'm going to end the live, and me and you can chop it up for a couple minutes. Barbers, until next time, keep chasing greatness, and I will tap in with you soon. We appreciate you. Make sure you follow the Barber Mogul on IG. Barbers, enjoy the rest of your night.
Y'all be good.